That's from Brownsville, baby.
That's a Brownsville legend. A Brownsville legend.
School of Law near Livonia Park. I went to Art Bar to ask for a job. Coalition mission said we gotta go get it. Tomahawk thoughts, that's a Brownsville legend. From my neck stretched and a pair of protests. Gangsters only wore one earring on the left when 007 was considered a weapon. The leather trench meant that a shotgun crept in.
Up the hill, Ocean Hill, got the handgun hand me down. Toting steel, you know the drill. Saratoga, me and Jim, dealing krills. First family, low fame, the hill that's real.
MGV thieves always gave you war. Every nickel, every dime, you can name the store. Every jail, every hood, I done came through good. The way of Brownsville, motherfucker know he could.
That's a Brownsville legend. A Brownsville legend. I'm a Brownsville legend. For my Brownsville legend. That's a Brownsville legend. A Brownsville legend. For my Brownsville legend. I'm a Brownsville legend.
Shouts to Rockaway, the G's on Bergen, Sean P, Sharif, not like Christ priest the sermon.
Dug pockets will halt, do not talk if you got caught. Dip left on the southpaw, Daddy-O from Stat, Daddy-O from Woo. Aguilar the Dawn, ghetto girl debut.
Donnie kept an army, tech and arm reach. Prospect Plaza, nice had it on fleek. Zeke boost the murder rate, stutter was discreet. Flannel shirt, he'll comfortable pop you in the street.
3 train tested, A train approved. When I dress like the dudes in the movie Crush Groove. Leather bomber, fur collar, project drama. Methadone clinic visit, stand by mama.
Simons and Harry's had the Lava laws. We shoot the Belmont, buy out the stores. Park the ride up by the park and light up. We cop car canal, right from car canal shrunk. What?
That's a Brownsville legend. A Brownsville legend. I'm a Brownsville legend. For my Brownsville legend. That's a Brownsville legend. A Brownsville legend. For my Brownsville legend. I'm a Brownsville legend.
Rodney and Rich used to bless us with bullets. Tyrod, Thug, Knowledge, and Bam kept us from bullshit.
I cut a hole in the gate at Bessie Head Pool. Captain Saberho jumping to the rescue. Pop lockers open in the basketball gym. Jumped in the water, still wearing my Timbs.
Sham pushed the 190, drug infested, gun congested. Pull up blasting, loves the message. Pop had the barbershop, bruh had the kitchen. Piece the Titus, Sunny T, the whole tech mission.
Box cutter, rubber, extended clip cartridge, clean shave, parade, paid big pardons, homicide, suicide, Lady Bahim, born sons, guns, Blue Bears team.
4-finger ring, guest jeans and jacket, 2-5, pocket full, some fresh Air Maxes, slick Rick snorkel, whores and big chains. Picture Big Daddy Kane on Long Live the Kane, so long live the name.
That's a Brownsville legend. A Brownsville legend. I'm a Brownsville legend. For my Brownsville legend. That's a Brownsville legend. A Brownsville legend. For my Brownsville legend. I'm a Brownsville legend.
Van Dyke Lucy used to test my fly. That's the same reason I'ma just rep and ride. Pumpkin stay dipped with his flat top crisp. Guest jumper summers with the crack rocks hit. Psycho used to dance every project jam with the 2-piece combo when the chopper lands.
Moon crack jokes, but a punch you in your snot box. Oh, he was loony. John was a hot shot. Southern Power, the game room, another hot spot. Born in Big Shoot, a salute to the side
Shannon
block.
Briggs, Zab Judah, Riddick, Bo True, Russell from the Soul Shack, Mike Tyson 2, Henry Hill, Larry King, the Three Stooges, Saratoga, Murder Inc., Oliver the Brewster.
Poe had the big body, Mel was sucker proof. Carmichael would dunk on you, then take your stuff from you. Jocko and Dink had niggas playing ball. Old Timers Day, BRC, to say it all. Thanks to y'all.
That's a Brownsville legend. A Brownsville legend. I'm a Brownsville legend. For my Brownsville legend. That's a Brownsville legend. A Brownsville legend. For my Brownsville legend. I'm a Brownsville legend.
Smooth Trigger, Christ, MOP, Helter Skelter, Master Ace, and Sparky D. a verdict, Derlick's word perfect, service punctuation, murdered word wizard, Merlin, and Thirstin.
Got pumpkins bursting, checks on the dick, keep they compass searching.
High frequency, speaker bleeds, nicotine, smoke signal, whistle, simple sipping tea, the stencil of a temple, the mental misery, essential in the rental, meant to pick up speed, protocol dogs, tours and flights, go to war, sure, I'm endorsed to fight, synchronized swimming, meetings and fine linen, fees is 9 digits, beat it in 5 minutes.
Multiple equipments and sonics, electronics. Skinny, but I'm lifted with thirst to get brolic. Technique like leaky leak with the sea moss. Does other bells talk about me that they me moss? Environmental topics, science and innovation. Like how thick these chicks are and do we just fuck them or date them? Reharmonize or the ill verbatim. We got ideas over here that got Spielberg way. And yo, talk about it, talk about it, talk about it.
Pieces with the leases and the leather blazer flavor. Shams the Batman, laughing talent with the razor. My quarters feel real, Bill Black denim. Calvin Klein's rhyme, big dog, don't pet him. Fizzler on the roof, niggas on the deuce. Know the ledge friends before slipping on the juice. Dope being leans while begging for a fix. One that pokes up, goes up, stole the extra drinks.
Extend myself to lend a helping hand. Extend myself in mommy mouth. Hopefully she doesn't have a man. If she does, I understand. I'm irresistible. I pull up to the festival and get to blending on them like a vegetable. Lord, help a nigga, it's your birthday. Come on, the imagery I see, the magnetic chemistry, the thing that makes the things do the things in proximity. I got chicks and kissing me cause they into me. Ha. Boy, oh boy, niggas is really rappers, right? Yeah, niggas is busting niggas. Yo, my nigga Thirstin Howl the third, that nigga, boy. Young Hump, that nigga. Got to send some shout outs. Gotta send some legendary shout outs one time. Let me start it off by saying, yo, shout out to Mario Lopez, man. Yeah, you know what I mean? Shout out to my guy, The Conclusion, man. My G motherfucking Doughboy. My nigga YDB, man. Yeah. And yo, shout out to all my rap niggas out there that can really rap about the
Skillionaire Films, and we back like we never left. You called his name twice. You ain't called his name 3 times like Candyman, but he heard you and he here in the building. So let's give it up for DU's own, the other half, known in some circles as Hump Low. Young Hump in the motherfucking building.
Hump pulled up, hump a nickel.
Hump a nickel, it's your birthday.
Oh shit, what's happening with it? Yo, I was just over here trying to watch and be a fan of y'all niggas, but you know what I mean? But I'm over here if you need me, man. What's up, Vic? What's up, Nolly's boy?
What's going on?
No. Hey, yo, Hump is on 3 songs on this album, yo. That's how much work we've been together. He's on 3 motherfucking songs, yo. And we got more than those 3 songs in the stash.
Yes. So I heard there's some place, this sacred vault that you pushing around, that you got everything you ever did and more on a thumb drive that people could cop and they can immerse themselves in the Thirstin skill universe. They could enroll in the skill university and get the real deal. What's happening?
Yeah. There's a USB right now. The only way to buy The Last Shall Be Thirst right now is on the USB. It's only available on the USB with my full catalog of music, all my albums, all my mixtapes. You know, everything I probably ever recorded that I released myself. So it's available at thirstinhowlthird.com. You know, the album won't go live on streaming platforms till sometime in June, but you could cop the album now with the entire motherfucking catalog, and I take you through mad eras and of my music and this madness.
Young Hump, a.k.a. Hump Low. If you could describe Thirstin Howl the third to us, how would you describe this man unto us?
Unforgettable, that's what he is. He handles his. Yo, let me tell y'all something, man. Yo, you say it like this, man. It's a lot of rappers that are
Come closer to the mic. I want the people to hear everything you saying right now, sir.
You hearing me right now? How's this? How's that sounding? Good, good, good. We good?
Sound like you far away.
Hold up. Let me how we sounding right now? What we doing? What we doing? We better? Not so much?
Turn my headphones up. I can't hear shit.
You know what? Hold on. How about now? Better
There
now?
we go. Yes.
Yeah, as I said, I just joined the show as a fan, so I had the Bluetooth speaker on. I was bumping it and shit. That's what I'm saying. I'm a fan. A lot of times, motherfuckers, I'm a fan of this nigga Thirstin Howl III. But so look, my description, I'm long-winded, so I'm gonna try to slow it and make it quick. But let me just say, I was just gonna make the point that there's a lot of rappers that have mastered their craft, mastered their style, and they technically incredible, and they got really memorable shit that they say. But then there are MCs that have all that, but on top of that, they're like really an original artist with an original world. Like Thirst is really an artist to the degree where, like, if you if you, to qualify what I'm saying, if you listen to his music, if you listen to all the different things he's done with his voice styles, like from actually just textures of his voice, but to also rap styles and where he chews the word. I mean, the guy's rapping over everything from what we call boom bap beat to shit that's in the more of a trap pocket, to Spanish rhythms, to reggae music, all different types of rhythms, different types of textures, wild, like super West Coast. He got the West Coast project he did. He's rapping over the classic. A lot of cats that ain't from the West don't know how to ride those beats the right way. And a lot of cats don't know. Basically, it's so much, not just versatility, but creative versatility. It's one thing to be like, I'm just going to go everywhere, to just go everywhere. It's another thing to do it with a flair and a uniqueness. And he always brought that. And I was telling him, I remember the first time I heard him rap, I was like, who is this motherfucker? When he always, the line when he said, in a sword to the death, all I with my mustache. Like, I was like, yo, who? Like, he always has had the illest inflections and where to put the emphasis on the word, and as a writer, he's just such a, I mean, in 2025, he's hitting you with lines like a pit of snakes is like a bowl of spaghetti, like just the conceptual shit. That ain't some shit he grabbed from another writer from the past. That's his mind. So I would just to describe him, I have to go and say a whole bunch of shit like that. I can't just say he's that nigga, which he is. I can't just say he's a rap master. He's one of the illest, which he is. I gotta give you all of that because there's so much to him. His discography is extensive, as is his range, his styles, his content, and his adaptability.
Yeah, son, that's love. That's love.
And I would never say, I didn't even have to know you. I would say that's why I approached. See, the way I know Thurstin, I approached him as like, yo, I fuck with you, bro. Like, yo, your shit is the craziest. And then, here we are now. But, really coming from the perspective of truly admiring this man. And, Thurstin has put a lot of, there's a lot of situations where the rhyming was going on. And when Thirst got on the mic, everything else wasn't as exciting. Let's get right to it.
What up, Thurston? It's your birthday. I tried my best to tap into my hump low, my knowledge low. Bag right there. I tried it. But yeah, it's love, man. Real love, real brotherhood, real manhood type of situation that's going on. I think that's priceless. You see what I'm saying? Like, as much as you an advocate for hip hop, Thirst, you also an advocate for manhood, brotherhood, familyhood as well. Like, you don't want none of that to die. You don't want no aspect of the culture that's associated with men being men and families being protected and loved. That's a whole another gambit that I recognize. You understand what I'm saying? And how you've organized things and put people in position to be able to do just that, be men to their families and be community men as well. So honest to you on that level as well.
Yeah, I'm assisted as well, and I'm guided in that process as well because I surround myself with those type of individuals. So they help me be, well, like my brother Earl Lugo, shout him out. The brother, great example of what you're supposed to do for the next generations and food, and just being a solid individual. Period. Happy birthday, Earl.
One day. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy right there. How that synchronicity works too. So now I saw this blip that came across the screen. It's called Skillionaire Films. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm gonna ask you to put your director low hat on. You understand what I'm saying? And tell us how these things kind of progressed into films. You know what I'm saying? I seen you with this mob suit on. You understand? Like I seen some things in my binge journey over here. You know, you see what I'm saying? So how did you get into making these kind of things a reality as well?
Well, my label is Skillionaire Global Enterprise, right? So
Hmm.
Skillionaire Films is the visual aspect of what I do. Shout out my brother Box Low. He directs a lot of the stuff. And I mean, I got into film. I started. I got into film mostly working at MTV. I got a
Mm,
job when I was on work release from prison, man. When I was being released, and all. So I was part of, like I said, that program, the Jim Brown American program. And I guess my performance with the program was so well, they introduced me to other people with other programs. And there was one program that was based out of California. It was called the Street Lights Production Assistant Program. It was designed to help ex gang members, ex drug addicts, ex whatever, to help steer their life. It would give them opportunity to work in film to help another path. So when I was working the Jim Brown program, I was introduced to the people from Streetlights, and they offered me an opportunity to go work at MTV. And and the rest is history. I mean, I was working at MTV when it was still straight rock and roll. So, and everybody knew I was from prison. So it wasn't like it was a secret. I'm a fucking experiment, if anything. And what they told me was, you're gonna be the example here. If you do great there, then you'll be able to open doors for other people, who coming from your same circumstances. So I was able to
right.
stay at B, man, for almost 10 years of working, a good 9, 10 years. And I got a chance to learn everything from behind the scenes of production management. As a
Mm,
production assistant, with which I worked, but I learned production management. I learned set designing. I learned lighting. I did almost every job you can imagine that you're supposed to work behind the scenes. So, I'm a coordinator and a production manager, and within my
right.
own productions now. I'm the stylist. I do almost everything. I even cook the motherfucking food and make the coffee.
Ooh.
So I learned what it is to really organize productions. That's why when I shoot videos and things like that, I'm shooting 4 and 5 videos at a time. I don't just shoot one video. I never shoot one video. You know what I mean? If I got time to organize it and put it together, then I'm setting up a whole assault of an arsenal of things to do. Like that one, like that last one you just saw, the with me and Hump, the Ultra Ill Magnetic Street. We shot that in California at Kevin Garnett's studio, the Content Cartel studio. Kevin,
Mm,
he actually gave us the keys, man, and let us rock for a whole week to do whatever we
right.
want. And we banged out a good 6 videos in that week. And you're gonna see them constantly. A lot of the videos are for the Last Shall Be Thirst album as well. But
Mm,
I got that, like I said, from the opportunities I got at MTV and the people I met and the people who were willing to help change the path of life, I was on at that time. But I go hard with the film, man. It's not a game. Like I said, me and my brother Low Box, We do almost everything together. And, you know, we got a lot more productions coming out, you know, a lot of TV stuff, a lot of show creating. There's definitely the Chef Survival Kit show is returning this year. You know what I mean? Straight off the tail recipes, cooking show. So Chef Survival Kit is returning, you know, and we got a lot of other things in the works that, you know, I ain't even gonna let out the bag. I'm gonna let you see for yourself.
That's what it is. Now, they know you as the skilled lyricist, MC, but do they know you as the author?
I mean, I think the world knows by now, you know, the world knows by now. And it's crazy because even, excuse me, as far as being an author, you know, my book is flooded with photos, you know, where my archives are really mad extensive, right? But many photos have been included now in galleries and in exhibitions and all that, alongside many of your most famous, you know, photographers that covered the culture. You know, the Joe Conzos, the Ernie Pacanelli, Jamel Shabazz. You know, my
Mel
photos,
Shabazz,
Jamel
the
Shabazz
God.
photos
Yes.
now are always displayed alongside of all of them. And you know, I feel so honored because I think I'm the only person who does these exhibitions with them, and I'm not a photographer. These are just my photos that were kept throughout life. You know, like those 40 Deuce photos, just standing
Right.
out there, you know, with the backgrounds. But it's I was able to save them and archive them all this time. So my collection is really, really ridiculous. Even everything that's floating on the internet is not even a fraction of my collection and my archives. There's so much more, and there's more books coming.
Epic. That's what I wanted to hear. That is what I wanted to hear. Man, this is crazy right now. I'm telling you. So now I got to delve into the hip hop world with you. Is this hip hop culture still the same culture that you loved from when you was young? If we look at the past 50 years and we infer with the next 50 years of hip hop, how do you see it, the state of hip hop and where the state of hip hop is going, and how do you foresee it in the next 50 years?
Um, in my past predictions of trying to determine the direction hip hop was going, I was always 1,000% wrong. It always evolved and turned into something I couldn't even conceive or think about. So I understand from that perspective to just allow it to evolve, you know. Um, it's not the same as what it was because the rules changed. It's almost like there aren't any rules anymore in hip hop. Before there was a code you had to follow. You know, you couldn't bite, you couldn't do a bunch of things that everybody does blatantly now. But at the same time, I've learned to respect evolution, and I have no control over it. I appreciate what it was. I appreciate what it came from. I appreciate that I was able to see every era of it. You know, to me, that's the most powerful thing I have, that I witnessed it all from the beginning. You know, and to me, my favorite era of hip hop was the beginning because it was pure, it was uncut, and not just anybody was allowed to do it. You know, you had to be of a certain caliber. I think one of the first rules in hip hop was you had to be hood in the beginning. Wasn't done too many outsiders, you know. But I respect what it is, and I respect where it has gone. So many people want to call other people culture vultures because they accept hip hop as their own or they live it effortlessly. But I look at hip hop, for me, it's like it's a religion. And if you believe your religion to be the right religion, don't you want everyone to embrace it and accept it and do it as their own, and and take
Teach.
their heart, things like that.
Teach.
Yep. But that's really real, man. I think people got to stop trying to pigeonhole hip hop. It already dominated the world. I think it's the main thing that has bridged the gaps of the world more than anything else. No, probably only currency has like bridged the gaps of the world in the same way hip hop, you know. But like I said, I love it, I live it, and that's all that should matter, man. It don't matter how successful you are or how popular you are. What matters is that you love it and you live it, or leave it alone. That's how I feel about it.
You gotta love it or leave it alone, okay?
Right. A lot of people don't love it. They just see an opportunity and they think they're gonna get rich quick. That's why all those artists, they give up fast, man. They don't live it. People that live it, like I know massive amount of people that, artists that been doing it 30 years and better and probably never achieved the status they wanted, but they refuse to let it go or give it up. And that's just part of your livelihood. Like somebody said to me in Orlando once, I was on a DJ panel, and I said that a DJ never broke my record. A DJ never put me on or spin my shit the way they popped it off for me. And then one of the DJs said, so when do you give it up? Like when do you call it quits if nothing is happening for you? And I'm like, I'm from New York, man. This is our culture. We live this. It don't matter if we get on and our playgrounds are different in New York. We play on the subway, we play on the tracks, we play in the yards, bombing the trains and all that. So we live this. I don't think not too many people do this trying to get on. This is just our way of life in New York. This is what we do. It's just the culture. It's a religion, like I said, to me. So I'm just living it, man. And that's what I'm going to keep manifesting. I'm going to keep living it regardless of whatever position I have in the mainstream or within the entertainment aspect. Like I always say, I don't represent the music industry. I represent the culture of hip hop. And that's why I've thrived all this time without ever having a record deal. A lot of people don't know that either. I've never had a record deal. And I ain't wait for nobody to give me a record deal. But I did want a record deal like everybody else. But when it didn't happen, that ain't stopped me from what I wanted to do. I'm going to live this regardless. I don't need nobody else's approval to do that. And that's why Thirstin Howl was here.
Why don't you tell them who tried to get you record deals? Some of the notable artists, household names that tried to get you a deal, guy.
I mean, I got my first deal came from L.
Tell him to stay out my notes, okay? Tell him to stay out my notes, man, because he in my notes. He intruding. He intruding in my notes.
My bad. I've been watching these basketball documentaries. I'm alley-oop hungry. I want to throw alley-oop. My bad.
A lot of deals, man. I've gotten deals from Raucous, offers, should I say. I got from LL was the first one. I think anybody would have signed with LL at the time. This is LL. I got a deal from LL. The Beastie Boys threw me a deal when they had their Grand Royal Records. Game Records, of course. I took some singles from them. But I never really accepted the deal. I was on the table at Def Jam. Me and Master Fu were like the next group to be signed at Def Jam when DJ Enough was the A&R up there. And, a lot of these things never transpired, but it never stopped me either from pursuing. I think if I would have signed the deal early, I wouldn't have had the catalog I have right now. I think I would have been bitter or upset by them fumbling the ball on me on what's supposed to be done for me as an artist. And they would have tried to, they censor a lot of artists as far as when you could drop or who you could record with or what type of music. And I can honestly say I've been free this entire time to do whatever the fuck I felt. And that's one of the biggest things. You know, my style could probably be looked at as awkward to some people who didn't get it at the beginning and things like that, because I'm so versatile. I switch lanes like a motherfucker. And I don't think a deal or record label would allow me to do that. You know, the fact that I could go way the fuck from left field to the next universe or galaxy in content or ideas, you know. So I've been allowed that freedom just by being independent. I did whatever the fuck I felt like, and I did all kind of creative shit, man, that blew people's mind.
Yeah, them concepts is wow. I want to get into what I dub as Thirstin Howl talk like sex aspect, but I know Young Hump got another question because he's bona fide in the great question asking aspect. So I want to get into the talk like sex segment of what you do, because I heard people talk about it, but I ain't hear nobody talk like that, like you talk like that. Okay, so
Yeah.
Young Hump, I'm
Nah,
throwing you an alley. You got another good question?
That's one of my big categories, man. You know, I'm a punchline rapper, I'm a bilingual rapper, and I'm a nasty motherfucker too. And like you said, talk like sex. I got a lot of that from Cool G Rap, you know what I mean? Where he was able to be explicit, X-rated, and still skilled at the same time. Because some rappers that just talk dirty but have no fucking substance or skill to it, you know. G-Rap was a genius with it when he made Talk Like Sex. Every motherfucking bar was ridiculous, but it was nasty at the same time. I've done that massively. You know, I got full projects where it's just sex orientated on the project. I actually have a motherfucking unreleased EP with me and brother Marquise, rest in peace, from the 2 Live crew that did before he passed away. Never released it yet, man. It's called Nastier Than Ever. With me and brother Marquise on every.
Woo. Man. What a fucking flex. Like, what a flex. Like, you have an unreleased album with brother Marquise from 2 Live crew about sex. That shit is incredible. That says so much about both of y'all, and it's so promising for what the content is. That's incredible. That's one of the illest like fusions of people that, you know, from different coasts, from different places, different. Well, I know. I guess Miami's technically East Coast or whatever, but just from 2 different universes coming together, talking about that good that we love to talk about, them skins. Yo, I love it. Yeah. I love it.
Yo, you know what's crazy? Nobody ever asked me about that content before. You the first person who ever touched that, because I do it just as much as every other style that I do. You know what I mean? I touch the sex shit like crazy. You know, I got songs like Welfare Pussy and How Many Baby Mothers and Crazy Got the Best Pussy. It's a lot of wild shit out my mouth. But it's also experience, you know? I'm an experienced motherfucker. I'll get down like this. It's not just music, my nigga. This is shit I'm pulling out of how I get down.
Teach.
So, Young Hump, you got to alley you another great question, sir.
Wow. And you want me to stay on the sex or pull another question?
Do whatever you like, sir. Do whatever thou wilt.
Okay. Do what you like. Okay. Thirstin Howl the third, man. Let me ask you this, because you've done so much. Like, what is your secret? It doesn't have to necessarily be a secret, but it could be a secret. What is your MO that keeps your shit so high potent? So like, for example, right? Like I mentioned that line where you said, could you repeat the whole 2 balls? The one about look at a pit of snakes like a bowl of spaghetti.
It's a cold world, but I know it already. I see a snake pit like a bowl of spaghettis.
Come on, man. That shit, there's nothing superior to that on the Illmatic or Cuban Link tape. I mean, that's top of the top penmanship, and that's your 2024 shit right there.
That's a deep you just said, yo.
Say what?
That's a deep comment, man. You might upset a lot of people saying that.
Hey, man, I'll say that in their projects with respect because it's the truth. I didn't say it's better and it's pissing on that shit. I said there's nothing on those albums that's better than that. Like those bars are top of the top, premier, you know, the most incredible shit. On the song we got coming out later this year, you say the ink in my pen from a chick that squirts, going back to how you so cleverly and intellectually bring the sex shit to the game. You're not just saying I'm banging chicks from the back. You saying the ink from my pen from a chick that squirts. Like, so it's what I'm saying is the potency of your work is so incredible. What's one of your, like, what's something that you do to keep yourself like stimulated in the mind so your potency is what it is?
I mean, I believe it's more my background that made it like that. Like, you know, growing up in Brownsville, I'm one of them ranking ass niggas, you know, the jokes. I was surrounded by everybody that was like that. Talking about 24/7 cracking jokes on each other, you know, most of my childhood and teenage years. And I was surrounded by some of the greatest rankers you can imagine. And, you know, me being Puerto Rican, of course, and everybody else black, I got attacked with every Puerto Rican joke you can motherfucking imagine. And we talking about 20 dudes at a time going at me, ranking. And I'm defending myself and still swinging back with it. You know what I mean? So I believe that's what made my punchlines and everything what they are today. Just the wittiness and the quick responses and making them genius lines. You just can't be a regular line when you hitting somebody back on the ranking tip, you know? But I have to credit it to that. And my brain is already formatted that way. So I think like that naturally. Even as being a battle rapper, right? Just having regular conversation around people, they would say things that would automatically trigger my response. Even if I'm not in the conversation, I hear something and boom, I already got the response to fucking shit on it or make a joke out of it. You know, that's just a natural instinct for me.
Wow. You are a very self-aware brother, my friend. That's beautiful.
This nigga on here eating a full course meal on the interview.
Yeah, what's her name? What's her name? Who you eating on that?
Hey, real quick, I just want to say one thing before I forgot. When you were talking about the videos earlier, because I was muted because I was eating, I want to say when you said that you shot 6 videos in a couple days, something I wanted to point out to people is this is not like when you hear a nigga say he did 5 songs and just 5 beats and just kick some verses, or this is not like 6 videos where it's just you standing in front of a wall with some graffiti on it, rapping and just shit. These are intricate videos with storylines, all kinds of shot lists. So I just wanted everybody to know that the precision and the intricacies, when you say 6 videos, that's like the average motherfucker's 58, 65 videos worth of information in the video.
Correct. You know, well orchestrated productions, man, down to the fucking time schedule, completing and all of that. When we shot the motherfucking Ultra Ill Magnetic joint, that was one of the hardest days for me because that day went at least 16 hours, man. And we ended off the day me doing the Cool Keith performance, like the Papa Lodge, when I had to do like 800 motherfucking squats just for that performance. That shit was no joke at the end of the day.
They was just out here too. That was crazy. They was just out here. Yeah, I've been on a hip hop escapade out here. You know what I'm saying? KRS-One, Channel Live, Master Killah. You understand what I'm saying? Ultramagnetic out here, Cool Keith. Everybody like it's been crazy the amount of hip hop slash entertainment that come to this hungry ass place in touch with some of the most hungry reminiscent MCs that had ever met. Everybody that I met here thus far that's in the hip hop scene is hungry and dope. Them on the stage, I'm like, yo, everybody. I'm like, everybody? Yeah, everybody. I bought records from people. You understand what I'm saying? I'm like, I need your record. I need your vinyl. I need, you know what I'm saying? Like, ew, and the balance and the versatility and the hunger. It's been crazy since I've been down here.
Nah, shit is real. It's a nice scene in Orlando, man. There's a lot of people doing it from different aspects, you know. So it's going down, man.
So I want to ask you about 3 people individually that you pull close to you and they pull you close to them. Hurricane G,
Yeah,
Sean Price, and Prodigy.
Wow. I mean, Hurricane was my rhyme partner, man. Like when I heard her record, Underground Lockdown, she rapped in Spanglish. And that's one that's one of my secret weapons. So I don't think I ever heard anybody deliver it the way I did, like raw, being a Puerto Rican, but still being super street gutter and, from the black hoods type of shit. You know what I mean? And Hurricane reminded me of myself with how she bodied a lot of the music with that. So I reached out to Tony Touch, man, and asked him to hook me up with her. Introduce me to her. I wanted to work with her. So I got a chance to work with her, and it was like we did one song, and that one song turned into 1,000 songs, man. I mean, she was so, how should I say, she was easy to work with. I ain't never had to write a single bar for her, any of that. She came always ready to get busy, and she complimented my style so much. You know what I mean? Like, she helped me shine at the same time, because she even worked with me when I was still fairly unknown, as an artist. But we built a massive bond, man, and she became my sister. My family loved her, my wife loved her, my kids, and she spent a lot of time with us, man. And we got to do a lot of work. There's still work coming out that we've done. We got this film called Don Chicharron, where she's the co-star along with me, where actually May 20th is Hurricane G's birthday, and I will be releasing a new video starring Hurricane G on her birthday from off the Don Chicharron film. It's really deep, man. The song is called Black Angels, and it's about why they don't allow black angels in heaven and things. And it's her singing the song. It's deep. You got to see it when it drops on May 20th. But, rest in peace, G. Always had mad love for her. I mean, even whatever she was going through, she was so strong. I believe that she was just going to, go through it like it was nothing, and we was going to continue on. I didn't think things were going to turn out the way they did, but she's forever in my heart. She's forever my people's, my family, and I'll never forget her, and I'll never let the world forget her either, as long as it's within my power. Check out that album we did, Mommy and Poppy album, man. That Mommy and Poppy album says it all, man, about me and her.
I was in that zone today. You know what I'm saying? I was in that zone today. Like,
you know what I loved about our Spanish music is that you could be from any nationality and you won't get lost listening to it, because it's Spanglish. It goes back and forth, and you can still comprehend what I'm saying, because I'm gonna turn it into English bars just as much as Spanglish bars, so blended together. And G was able to with me. As far as Sean P, Sean P, of course, Brownsville all day. you know, the whole Decepticon Lo Life.
You got it out. Peace.
Peace. Sean P was before he was with Rock and Shelter, he was partners with one of my best friends, Has, from the Garvey in Brownsville, another Lo Life founder. Him and Sean P was a rap group. That's how I knew Sean P, and that's how I started dealing with him. You know what I mean? Through my brother Has and all that. But, you know, we got to do a lot of things together, more than anything as friends, man. We didn't really jump into the music that much. We just rocked together. A lot of other shit, you know, street shit, Lo Life, Decept shit, drama shit.
Right.
You know, it's always chilling. So, you know, even his death, man, it affected me, you know, like a lot of people. But, you know, I was always, even when Sean blew up, I could run into him in the store. I'd be like, yo, you know, this nigga's already a superstar. And I asked him, yo, come record a song with me on my 4-track. And he'll still come with me and record a song.
And Sean was he a Lo Life, or was he? I know he's a DSAP, but have he been like initiated to the Lo Lives? Or?
I mean, he was Lo Life by default because we was all surrounded. The same way he embraced Lo Life because in Brownsville, Lo Lifes and Decepticons coexisted. We didn't have beef. You know, you always hear stories that a lot of dudes had beef. Lo Lifes had beef with Decepticons in different places, and it's true. It really went down. But in Brownsville, we were surrounded by each other every day, and a lot of us grew up together. Even in my practice with Garvey, there was a lot of Decepticons. And it wasn't no beef. We always rocked together. So when he fully embraced it, he told me I had to be a Decepticon with him, and he made me a trigger con. You know what I mean? So if he was repping, and I had to rep D-Set. There's even a photo, man. One of the last photos of when he was alive is a picture of me and him, and he's throwing the double L's up, and I'm throwing the Decepticon sign. You know what I mean? So he repped for each other.
Yeah.
No, but that was my brother as well, man. Much love to him, and shout out to Bernadette, man, for doing her thing and keeping his name alive. You know,
we born on the same day, me and Bernadette.
Wow.
I know Bernadette.
Yeah.
She was a little girl, man, before her and Sean P was even together, man. I know her a long time in her life, you know.
Wow.
And as far as Prodigy, you know, I didn't know Prodigy that well like that. I mean, you know, we got cool, and he pulled up on me in Miami and came and hung out one day to, you know, to record, to do some music with me, just on the strength, just out of love and all that. I went to see him at a show one night in Miami, a Mobb Deep show, and then he came to my crib the next day and we just hung out, and all we talked about was beef. He told me everybody he had beef with, all the beef that was going down, and you know, we just kicked it in vibe, man. We were decent, but you know, we wasn't the best of friends. I didn't really get a chance to know him that well, but we were starting to build a relationship, and then he passed away right after we recorded that song.
Crazy. You got almost the next best thing in LG.
Me and Priest don't got nothing under the belt yet either.
I know we gotta get that. We gotta get that. Yo, I was trying to find.
It's gonna happen now. That's all. That's it. That's all. It's gonna happen now.
Yeah,
that's all.
Let's get it. That's Thirstin Priest. Yo,
Word up.
And we right there. I was right in Garvey. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, so it was crazy. I think when you was in Garvey, I was in jail. You know what I mean? But I don't know if you remember, right? In like 1990, that's why I think you were around. We used to call the Garvey Shaolin. Because, you know, it was one day when I shaved my head. I used to rock the bald head with the Shaolin dots, like the Abbott, right? And there was there, I think I probably choked out like 20 people and shaved their head projects that day. and we had everybody wearing the Shaolin dots. And we used to go to the clubs like that, deep, like 20, 30 people, everybody bald head with Shaolin dots. And then my man he had did a big graffiti piece behind the liquor store on Livonia. And it was a big piece that said Shaolin. And it had the character with the bald head and the dots in it, man. But because I know Priest, you was rocking with Crazy a lot, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Craze was my breakdance partner, man, from real young. Him, his brother Psycho, you know, Brownsville 2-piece. So I grew up with all of them from real young, man, and breakdance. Craze was even in breakdancing, he was the truth. The same with Daddy Rose from the Rose family used to breakdance with me.
Yeah, he was nice. I didn't know he could pop like that, yo.
Yeah, talking about Crazy, they both popped.
Yeah. I was like, I saw him hit a move. I was like, oh man, yo. He's like, yeah, that was it. Check it out. Here's my tribute, huh?
Yeah, we was all breakdancers, man, from the beginning.
Yeah, I used to pop too.
And I battled the whole Brownsville in break. If I heard dudes was nice, we pulling up to your projects. I gotta make sure ain't nobody nicer than me.
Scoop is the original from Brownsville. I know Scoop from Scoop and Scrap.
Yeah,
I think it's Scrap from there too. I know Fendi from the Ville. I know there's a lot of ill dancers that came from the Ville. Niggas don't know that.
My dude Psycho, Crazy's brother.
Psycho, you killed it.
Psycho was. If you looking on my video, Psycho is the dancer doing the Brownsville 2-piece, the fighting dance. And this is the dances he was doing in Latin Quarters and Union Squares and all that. Cause son wanna fight, so he gonna intimidate you in the dance because he really wanna fight. You know what I mean? But that influenced a lot of people in Brownsville, man. And you know,
the Brooklyn legend.
Dancers, you know, E-Bug, Knowledge on, you know, those is my brothers too, man.
Yeah.
He's a legend. No, Psycho's a legend.
Yeah, E-Book, that's the fam right there for me.
Wow.
E-Book, yeah. E-Book is an ill producer. Me and E-Book were actually the Anger Bangers Productions that we did. You know, we produced a lot of stuff on my albums and all that. We became a team after a while. E-Book and Cornbread, they still getting busy on the dance floor.
Yes.
They in their
Yes.
Yo, was Master
and they don't look it, you know what I mean? They don't even look it, you know. So you look at you like you might think this is a young boy you talking to. You don't even know.
So majority of the dancers retain their youth because of all that cardio they doing all their life, and dance is the greatest joy known to man, other than laughter. So that's why so many dancers look so youthful, you know, as they age.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get E-Book up here.
And it's cardio.
Yeah, that was the first thing I said. It was the cardio. Cardio, so their heart rate is up all their life.
And the honeys be smiling at you with you dance and shit. So that's nice to add that too.
Yeah, but that's how you get a lot of times,
Yo, I want to read this for Thirstin. This is Revelation 6:5. And I heard the third living creature saying, "Come and behold the black horse, and he who ride the horse." So that's your Polo. I just want to keep tribute that scripture to the Polo, the Lo Lives. I think it's one in Revelations 19. He that sat on the horse also. Word.
But that's the last shall be thirst, man. That's that new album.
Shall be thirst. Oh, you can, exactly.
That's the new album, The Last Shall Be Thirst. I remember y'all did The Last Shall Be First. The first man.
With the signs, You
shout out
98.
Those my dudes too, man. They used to pull up on me in the Garvey too and come just to rhyme.
Yo.
They and just rhyme. We bars. We ain't never talk about shit. All we did was rhyme.
To it rain. To it rain. The rain used to come down, man. Yeah, cats don't know the rich history. Like where, like Master Ace.
Ace is from Howard Projects.
Right. Well, and then
Master Ace will be here next week in Orlando. He's performing at Brooklyn Bridge to Orlando showcase next week.
Yeah.
Him and his queen, right? Lachey?
Yeah. Him and Lachey, man. Shout out to Ace,
Epic.
man.
Epic.
And people don't know a lot of Eminem style come from Ace. You know what I'm saying? His cadence of the way he was. Yeah, there you go.
All of it, and then the little bit of crumbs that he got from being with the Outsiders down in Newark, where I'm from. You understand what I'm saying? So, like,
Outsiders.
That was it.
Jersey in the building.
Yeah.
Outsiders.
In Brownsville with me too. I used to have M in Brownsville.
Yeah, because you started with the Lyricist Lounge. What up? Yeah, Lyricist Lounge going way back.
And then the rap coalition where we was the Rap Olympics team, you know.
Yeah, Rap Olympics team. That's where the Horsemen come from, right, Priest?
Exactly.
The idea from the Horsemen come from after a couple, real battles in real life. A couple people got their feelings hurt. They thought they was nice.
Yeah.
I was telling them, a lot of cats don't know about Prince Destroyer, who used to walk to people's houses, just like Thirst said. He was going through. That's my best style side. So he was going through, knocking on people's doors, looking for Kane and cats like that. But you had cats like Rakim, who was down with the Disc Masters. That's the Brownsville side. They would travel, go over here, Mighty Mike Masters, and they would just. You had to be in Brooklyn. You had to be dope, or you just be thrown to the side. Or they battle you for your name, your chain.
Right.
You know what I mean?
When I step the battle, I'm stepping like it's a robbery. You gotta battle me. I ain't letting that go.
That's right.
No, I used to step tunnel and just wait for rappers to come out. I stopped even going inside the club. Once I started rapping, I just want to battle. And there was times I stand out there all night and get at everybody. Niggas got so wow.
Man, contest
everybody. You know what
I mean? You ran across the RZA, right?
I mean, I worked with the RZA. When you see RZA, tell him, please get songs, man. I need them songs.
Yeah, I know.
You got some songs, man. I want them songs.
So you and RZA got songs that never came out? So now we got to go in the category with how many songs. He got 35 albums, ladies and gentlemen. So these are songs that came out. So who did you work with? If you could share with us just a little bit of those folks that you worked with songs that the world never heard, in addition to everything else that you got out.
Oh, wow, that's a rough one. I think everything I do comes out, man. You know, it might be a lot of those features that, that I put up that sometimes you never hear them again. But I got everybody, man, from Cannabis to RZA to Old Dirty to you name it, Planet Asia, Chino XL, Master Ace, Smoother Hustler, anybody that matters or that I'm a fan of, I got work and music with them. You know what I mean? Supernatural. Man, I ain't got nothing with Cool G. I ain't got nothing with Raekwon or Ghost. That's on my bucket list. But I got a lot of music, man, with a lot of people that mattered, man. As far as to me, Professor X, Brother J. What? I'm a super Brother J fan, man. When I got a chance to work with Brother J, at first Brother J wasn't fucking with me. He said, I can't, I can't rock on that subject matter that I was fucking with. So he declined from working with, because a lot of my music is wild. Then I came across a song I did for this organization called the Dream Defenders that were based out of Miami. Just a civil rights type of song, fight the power type of shit. So me and Talib Kweli had done the joint together. Yeah. Then I finally had a song that I could send to Brother J and ask him to be on, and then he jumped on it and destroyed it as always. I always loved the X-Clan style and Brother J's skill set and all that.
Yo, give him a ball for that. People sleep on that dude lyrical skills. when you talk about lyrics and revealing back then, son was super younger, but was spitting crazy. He was spitting crazy.
It was poetry, man. It was a style of poetry to me that you could come up with your own definitions of what he was saying, because it could mean almost anything, almost like De La Soul was. Their style was poetry in a sense where, you know, you had to determine what they were talking about. You translated yourself. You know what I mean? It got different meaning to different people.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They True Goy, R.I.P. Yep, exactly. Back then. Yo, you got. I mean, Thirstin Howl. Yo, man, Nas Boy, you did it again. I mean, this brother you're so rich with history, and what's great about you is that you still remember and you still hold the archives going way back. Back then, from back then to now, still here, still making albums. I think that you may be the one who got the most albums in hip hop. I heard already the Rugged Man said that.
Nah. Terminology got 50, so I got.
I love it.
Between y'all two, that's 100 albums, and then if you add Young Hump, that's like 150 albums right here.
Yo, but I'll be real. All my first albums got 30 songs. So if I would have broke that up into 10 songs, I would have had way more albums.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, and you dealing with at least what 20 an album.
Say that now I break it down to like 12 songs per album. I don't no more. I know the attention span is not there for a lot of motherfuckers no more.
Look at Priest talking. Priest got 80 an album easy.
Yo, look, Priest is one of the, I always made sure I kept up with him, because in the underground there was a certain amount of dudes that became the kings of the underground because of the consistency. And Priest was one of them. I knew to keep up with Priest. When he dropped, I was dropping most of the time, because he was establishing that catalog. Not everybody was thinking catalog. You know what I mean? Even Kool Keith, I got to give it to Kool Keith. I considered him the first king of the underground, because he was the first one. Because I remember there was a time where the word underground didn't exist. I don't remember nothing called underground. I never heard the word underground until I heard the word puffy. Then I heard underground, because then there was a separation that was going on. But, you know, Kool Keith was one of the first kings that was dominant in the underground. I would have to say Keith, Killah Priest, Necro was one of them kings in the underground, really being consistent, dropping like crazy. You know what I mean? Planet Asia became one of those. Already the Rugged Man. There's a lot of dudes where their consistency is what got them their crown and their skill levels. You know.
Hey, let me big y'all two brothers up. Priest, yo, what up, Priest? By the way, and Thirstin, let me big y'all up for always coming with concepts and super ill album titles and shit, because a lot of people
nowhere in the realms of this man. As far as concepts, I think Thirstin Howl is one of the craziest. His concepts. It's just like you said. The last shall be thirst.
Yeah, the adaptations, right? Skillmatic, skill. You know what I'm saying? Skillionaire, like your ability to infuse skills and have skills. Like I could have been like, yeah, you know, I'm a skill, blah, 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 whatever. And then you hear it, you be like, nah, this dude is a no skill. Like no frills back in the day. We was raised off no frills. They raised off no skills. So to infuse skillitary, the skillosopher. You understand what I'm saying? Like the
and to add on and to add to that too, like you know how some cats will come with like a mixtape title like The Reckoning, and then it's The Reckoning 2, The Reckoning 4, The Reckoning 12, and they just basically ain't coming with new. He always have a new way of flipping the skill, skillitary, skilla be skill, you know, etc. etc. It's incredible.
But you know, I credit EPMD, man, for beginning that trend. I followed what they did with the business, you know. So that's what made me incorporate the skill every time. But the skill was what I was always about before I was a rapper. You know, in prison, I was that letter writing motherfucker where I write these letters and I get responses, and I got like 20 broads writing me, and I'm getting responses. So you could hire me to write your letter for you, and your girl gonna write you back. So we used to always say, you know, you the skillest one. Or we used to call dudes, you skilless. You ain't got no skills. I used to call dudes skilless, Willis, the ventriloquist, and all of that. They had no skills. And I always based everything in my life about skill, and that went from fighting. It was about skill. You know, I was one of them dudes. I love to brawl. I love to fight. Everywhere I went to get it on, and you know, get them hands up.
That's still my love language to this day. I'm telling you.
Even sex. You know, I always looked at sex like a competitive thing with the partner I'm with, where I have to outskill this. You know what I mean? I had to be superior in the skill as far as satisfaction. I'm satisfied by seeing you satisfied. That's how I would treat women and things like that. So I base my skills around a lot of that. And like I said, more than anything, a lot of my writing potential and skills came from writing all them letters in prison, man.
That's crazy.
I'm a fucking 8th grade dropout, man. You know?
Right. Yeah, most of us. You know, it's like I used to daydream a lot when I went down south, looking at the looking out the window. They messed up when the teacher put me near the window, because I used to think about going outside all the time and playing during recess. It's like, yo, I want to look out the window. And that's what started sparking my imagination, I believe. Like, yo, it's just that I don't want to be here confined. I want to be outside of that box. So that's incredible. I just want to say one thing to Young Hump, man. Shout out to you, Young Hump. Am I familiar? I don't know if I'm really familiar with your work, but I know I heard of the name or stuff like that. Could you explain a little bit to me?
Oh yeah, man. The funny thing, God, is like, you know my face. I've been knowing you for 1,000 years, since back in the day when you was rocking with Near at Silent Sounds above the flower store on Melrose. We go way back, you know.
Wow. Yeah, you said that's what I first met.
I was gonna say this manifestation of me, you might not, you know, recognize it right now, but you definitely know me. And then on top of that, you know, I'm down with Money B. Shock G chose me to be the brother to carry on the legacy of the Hump thing. So, you know, he's big. He was, rest in peace to Big Bro. He was Humpty Hump, and he put me into the universe. I became Young Hump, and I'm waving the flag for Digital Underground. So that's. But yeah, when you see me, next time I see you, I'm gonna give you a big hug, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, it's you!"
Oh no, not Erewhon, right?
There you go. You already know, God. That's me. That's your brother, you know, right there.
I caught on. I looked and I said, "Oh, that's Erewhon." That's
like, yeah. I used to run around with Sid and Christina and them back.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Exactly. And you know what the connection is? I caught on to the voice. My last discussion with Hump, because he's a real dude. I love Shock G, and I told him to go on stage that time. It was amazing. Him rocking with RZA, and that's the last time I was with him. But yeah, man, Sid, shout out to guys. You still be going to Erewhon? I ain't see you there lately, but I know we be doing the health thing together.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. And yo, you know what I'm gonna play so I don't forget next time I see you. You know what I have was crazy. I have a Shock was big on. He would send people like videos of him saying something. He wouldn't even text you. He just filmed himself talking about something and send you a video. And I got a 5-minute video of him explaining this long conversation he had with RZA, talk right after Old Dirty Bastard died. And it's a deep one. I'll show it to you, man. I ain't gave it to nobody, but I'll show it to you next time we link or whatever.
Yeah, both of them had legends that passed away on them. So it's like
exactly
with them two bringing out, and both of them was being boisterous and pushing out there. I could see them too, because when we was at House of Blues, me and him had a nice conversation. I said, "Yo, man, get on stage with the RZA, bro. RZA's right there. He was so happy because he didn't even want to go up there, but he went up there anyway. And it was a classic moment.
That's so dope. That's so dope. Yeah, he mentioned that in the video, I believe. I believe he mentioned that video. It's classic, man. Classic, man. Yeah, I can't wait till next time I see you, brother.
Thirst, you had something. It looked like you had something.
Hey, yo, Priest, Hump was also the guy who played Shock G in the Tupac movie All Eyes on Me.
Woo!
That was the jump off.
The jump off.
And it got me all the way to now where I'm on 3 songs of Thirstin Howl the Third. God is good to a nigga. I love it.
Exactly.
Seen that Ultra Ill Magnetic Street joint where we did the Ill Street Blues over and the MC Ultra.
You ain't gotta worry about it. He can look at it right now. We run it back right now. Exclusive.
Yeah,
off the last shall be Thirst. Thirstin Howl the Third and Young Hump doing the greatest agitation I ever seen in motherfucking life right here on the Wind Down.
That's beautiful.
Ultra extravagant MC Ultra. Come on, yeah, MC Ultra. And you don't stop MC Ultra.
Introverted Derlix, word perfect service, punctuation, murdered word wizard, Merlin, and Thirstin.
Got pumpkins bursting, checks on the dick, keep they compass searching.
High frequency, speaker bleeds, nicotine, smoke signal, whistle, simple, sipping tea, the special of a temple, the mental misery, essential in the rental, meant to pick up speed, protocol dogs, tours and flights, go to war, sure, I'm endorsed to fight, synchronized swimming, meetings and fine linen, fees is not digits, beat it in 5 minutes.
Multiple equipments and sonics, electronics. Skinny, but I'm lifted with thirst to get brolic. Technique like leaky leak with the sea moss. Does other bells talk about me that they me moss? Environmental topics, science and innovation. Like how thick these chicks are and do we just fuck them or date them? Reharmonize or the ill verbatim. We got ideas over here that got Spielberg way. And yo, talk about it.
Pieces with Elises and the leather blazer flavor. Shams the Batman laughing talent with the razor. My quarters feel real, Bill Black in them. Calvin Klein slime, big dog, don't pet them. Fiddler on the roof, niggas on the deuce. Know the ledge friends before slipping on the juice. Dope fiend leans while begging for a fix. One that pokes up, goes up, stole the extra prints.
Extend myself to lend a helping hand. Extend myself in mommy mouth. Hopefully she doesn't have a man. If she does, I understand. I'm irresistible. I pull up to the festival and get to blend it on them like a vegetable. Lord, help a nigga, it's your birthday. Come on, the imagery I see, the magnetic chemistry, the thing that makes the things do the things in proximity. I got chicks and kissing me cause they into me. Boy, oh boy, niggas is really rappers, right? Yeah, niggas is busting niggas. Yo, my nigga Thirstin Howl the Third, that nigga, boy. Young Hump, that nigga. Got to send some shout outs. Gotta send some legendary shout outs one time. Let me start it off by saying, yo, shout out to Mario Lopez, man. Yeah, you know what I mean? Shout out to my guy, The Conclusion, man. My G motherfucking Doughboy. My nigga YDB, man. Yeah. And yo, shout out to all my rap niggas out there that can really rap.
Yo, how did you do? Yo, I got one question, Thirst.
Yeah.
How did you do that with that sound? You made that sound, and I'm gonna tell you what you did. You killed it. First of all, mentally misery. That is a crazy flow. You know you crazy with verbs, all of that. But that sound, I tried. I was thinking because only you. What I just heard, that sound like it wasn't done in the studio. It was done in a park. Like the only ones that do that sometimes is Roots. They catch some of it, and I try to ask back thought how you get that sound. And Big Daddy Kane and Biz Mark just rhyming with Biz. That song sounded like it was done in a park. Dude, one, two.
You know what that was?
You just did it.
That was in the effect. Put on the vocals when he first took it home, and he sent me back the vocals with the effect on it. So when I mix it down, I left that effect, but I put the same vocals right under it raw. So I had both. You know what I mean? I had the vocals with the effect, plus I had them raw under each other. You know what I mean?
Young
Hump put that effect on it.
But
what is that, bro? I need to. Yo, how do you?
I got you. That's what I'm saying. Yo, next time I ask you to do a joint. Yeah. Next time I ask you to do a joint, now we gonna do a joint.
You got me. There's only.
Let's go.
This song right here, there's only you, the Roots, because he get it sometime, and Biz, just rhyming with Biz. That song with Kane sounded like they was in a park. And it's like, how you catch that sound? Doom, 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 doom. 1, 2, 1, 2. You gotta be.
You know what's funny? Because it's interesting. I'm not particularly, in my opinion, too good at mixing music, but I really, really labor over mixing vocals. Like I spend days and days and days and days and days and days dialing in the sound, because I guess I'm a rapper before anything. So it's like I really, and a lot of dudes, I know some great mixers, but they just really throw a slap, a little whatever EQ on it and don't release. Me, I really go in on the vocals, and that song being so powerful with Thirstin, and it just being so significant too, I put the extra, but I saved that EQ. So I got that EQ, I got that EQ locked and loaded, you know what I mean? So holla. You know, yo, we did that in like 15 minutes in my lab, yo. I think we had to talk longer than we recorded, yo. Cause you know we was just in here vibing to everything, and the wild shit is that I had those joints forever where I was supposed to redo them, but every time I tried to record one of them or write to them, I didn't know what to do because the songs were so stuck in my head for what Kool Keith did and what Kool G Rap did. So the only thing I could come up with is to turn into them and do it like if I was them. That was the only thing I saw fit for. I mean, yeah, that was the ultimate clinic, bro. You went into full chameleon master metamorphosis, like encyclopedia, hip hop museum, you know, oracle status.
Yes.
Even the same with the video. You know, we tried to mimic their video. And I think when I was doing the Kool Keith performance, like the Papa Large video, I was such in character mode that I know people thought I was crazy that day. I looked like I was crazy because I was really zoned into that character of how Kool Keith portrayed it in the Papa Large, man. And I wanted to capture it exactly how he did, you know?
And let's make sure that everybody listening is very clear that both Kool Keith and Kool G Rap have co-signed and reposted this video on their social media platforms. So they fucking with it. This is some shit that's been approved and co-signed by.
Yeah, fire.
Yeah, I had to get
the process
approval, man. The only thing Kool G told me, he was like, yo, you know, you exaggerated the lisp a little bit, man. I was like, I think they love the most about that part is how strong I did the lisp of Kool G. You know what I
mean? Yeah. Fiddler on the roof, niggas on the roof.
Let me clear that up too. I think a lot of G-Rap joints sounded like he was behind that. I think it was because of Marley behind that yellow tape, but you captured it. Could you tell us your process, bro? Because you got so many characters, Thirstin. I'm gonna give you your flowers now. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna give you a whole garden, your forest.
Wow.
Give me the forest.
You have so many characters. Tell us the process. How did you get into the zone of Kool G mixed with Kool Keith, Papa Large?
shit was just natural, man. Like I said, I've always done the Cool G, right? Like I've done him on several records, but I would do a line or two here or there. I never did a full verse before. I always play with it. The Cool Keith one, I developed that shit that day on the spot. Ask Hump. Me and Hump was in the studio together recording this. So I just turned into just started mimicking his voice. Because you know, the MC Ultra song was my shit in '86. You know,
Fire.
I was in Operation Future. I was in all these places where that song was one of the most dominant songs of that year.
Yes.
So it's stuck in my head forever. His flow, his voice. So that shit just, it took me no effort to do it, man. I probably took 2 or 3 takes to get it done. You know what I mean?
Fire. Fire. Legendary. It's legendary. Man. Yo.
My first 2 written raps that I wrote was to Coogee Rap DJ Polo Brother on the Run and Straight Up Minutes.
Wow.
Yeah, for the West Coast one time.
For the West Coast one time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like dancing before, rhyming, a different thing, whatever, but sitting down, writing to records. My brother is still one of the illest DJs ever right now. I don't care nothing about none of y'all other DJs. My brother, you understand? Like, it was in my living room. You understand what I'm saying? Technique 1200s and the coffin and all that. I was a wild, young, disrespectful dude. I had to call my brother. Word is born Thursday. I had to call my brother and apologize because I didn't understand that a 15, 16-year-old kid had thousands of dollars worth of equipment. I was a little kid. You understand what I'm saying? A little kid, you know, running behind my oldest brother, messing with his equipment and his headphones and all that, not understanding that that's how he lived his life and earned a living. I'm looking at Juice and I still ain't see it. I'm looking at Juice like, damn, this was my brother. He was a kid hustling the party tapes. You know what I'm saying? Hustling the party tapes and 15, 16 years old in clubs, rocking the show for grown people. I seen him in a DJ battle. You know what I'm saying? Like he learned the crossfader, losing the DJ battle to a Puerto Rican kid in my neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? Like he learned the crossfader. Like he took an L, but he was victorious after that. Nobody could touch him. But Puerto Rican kid was like, nah, Papa, you got to do it like this. Like he hit him with the crossfader and murked him. You understand? Like scratching all that. Oh, that dude mastered the crossfader, and it looked like he wasn't even moving his hands. You understand? Like he embarrassed me. My brother took that loss, but he took that lesson. That was a lesson for him. So his versatility, DJ grew.
That's what molds you, man. Lessons.
Yeah.
And law. Yeah, they build great characters.
Yeah, they don't know Redman as a DJ. They know him as an artist. They don't know him as a DJ.
I remember Redman as a DJ. Yeah. I believe he was the DJ in Sensations the night we got jumped.
Yes. Yep.
Yo,
he got signed there too. He got signed in the same place.
Wow.
In Sensations.
Wow.
Yeah, Sensations was not a game, yo. Them Jersey
Who jumped y'all?
The dudes from Newark and all that. We came.
They
like,
wild,
yo, we came in 40 deep. First we came, right? And we was doing all kind of wild, dumb shit in the club. And we got away with it like it was sweet. We were able to go home, nothing, right? So we started telling everybody in Brooklyn, yo, we going back next week. We went back next week on that same bullshit, and they lined us up straight up and down. We was 40.
Not it.
Got jumped.
That was not it. That was not it. In Club Sensations with North, like I'm telling you, like a lot of people got caught up in the mix with that. God forbid you do a show on the bricks was a real thing. Redman, that wasn't a rap line. That was a real life thing.
Yo, people sleep on toll cats.
We caught it on the other side. Don't act like we ain't come to Medina to the rallies and the guards and you chase us back to the train. So either way it goes, it was all good for about for the rally. But after the rally, your ass was grass. Okay, so
even after we got sensations, we waged war on Jersey after that. When they came to the Deuce, it was a wrap. We even caught some of the same dudes that got us. We caught them on the Deuce. I remember some faces.
Yes, yes, that is an awful thing. And the generations after, you understand? Like but there was a love thing too from Brooklyn to North though. There was a different thing too. It was like a different kind of love affair, like because it was the same respect due. I mean, if you get aired out, you get aired out. But either way, that's what it was.
I mean, I was always in Jersey with the girls, man. I always met girls from everywhere. So even after the night that we got jumped, a girl I was dealing with from Jersey was in the club that night, and she was the first one to tell me, yo, y'all better leave. They getting on the phone because they had a pay phone in the club.
Yes.
Said, they get on the phone and they calling more dudes to come up here. And when we got outside, it was dudes with hammers already, like across the street.
Yeah. Yes.
You know what I mean? So Shorty was definitely one.
Yeah, that shit worked both ways, Thirstin. You understand? If you got caught slipping, that was your ass. If you got caught on 40 deuce, you just wore what you wore. Okay? That was it.
We had to run to the PATH train from, you know how far that PATH? We wasn't in cars or nothing. We on the train.
See, so, y'all ran, but there was some other people that got police escorted to the PATH train.
I mean, we got ran over with cars. Remember they had that little police bubble in the middle of the street. Even that in there backed out on us and told us to get the fuck out.
See, LB Fam got escorted by police protection. That's what saved them.
Wow.
Real quick, trivia for Thirstin Howl. Who was the scientist on the island of Gilligan?
Oh, come on, the professor, man. Get my name.
The Skillionaire and the skipper too.
The billionaire and his wife.
Yeah, but I name from him. Like I didn't try to mimic him or anything because I was being called Thirsty because of how I was chasing down rappers to battle. So a lot of my friends started calling me Thirsty, and they ain't want to go nowhere with me because all I want to do is battle and look for rappers. So they started calling me Thirsty. So when I started developing my style, because I wasn't Thirstin Howl, I was Big Vic the Barbarian, my Lo Life name. First started rapping.
Dropping
juice. So when they started calling me Thirsty and I started developing my rhyme style, the Howl came into play and it worked. And the reason I'm Thirstin Howl the third is because the number 3 is the complete cipher. I'm the complete package of what it's supposed to be. I mean, I'm man, woman, child, sun, moon, star, food, clothing, shelter. I'm a complete cipher within myself. That's why it's the third. And as far as the Skillionaire, that name was given to me by Knowledge Be Born, you know, the brother Cornbread from the IBM day.
Yeah.
He was one of my mentors in rhyming. You know, that was my brother. That's actually my son's uncle. You know what I mean? So he was always around me when I was rapping and all that, and he encouraged me to write rhymes because I never wrote rhymes. I was a freestyle battle nigga. I just freestyle. But that's how the third Skillionaire and all of that came about from those situations. But the entire career, I never mimicked or did anything from Gilligan's Island on none of my stuff. I never used that gimmick. But I feel like I've proven that I didn't need that. So now I'm going to do all that gimmicky.
We ready for it. We ready for it. We are ready
Now,
for that
now,
right there.
into that.
The Skipper 2. The millionaire and his wife. What was
You know what's
what
crazy?
Movie star.
yeah.
You know what's real crazy about that show? Mad coincidence. If you look at the entire cast of Gilligan's Island, all of them are wearing clothes that are designed by Ralph Lauren today. All those
Boom! Bomb!
they were
Give
wearing.
a bomb! Give him a
Damn.
bomb! Give him
Damn.
It's like
Yo,
stuff Ralph Lauren,
killing it.
everything.
Wow. Even the look, yo, you killing it. Even the look. The
Gilligan's
look of it.
Skipper's look, everybody's wardrobe looked like it could have been made by Polo.
Yeah,
Woo!
even Gilligan. Gilligan. Yeah,
Even
Wow.
that's
Thirstin Howl,
good.
the Skipper's
Yes.
you know, the Skipper's hat, that's a Polo hat all day long.
Right. Right.
Yes. Guilty. Lovely. That's what he used to call his girl, Lovely. Well, her name, what was her name? Yeah, Lovely. Yeah, Lovely. Yeah, Lovely. And then you had Gilligan. Who remembers when Brady Bunch, when Peter found the medallion
The
that put a
voodoo,
tarantula on his chest?
it was a voodoo medallion or some shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That's what sitcoms had like extra. They had like continuations.
Yeah.
That's when
Right.
the Brady Bunch was stranded on the island, and Peter found a voodoo doll, the tarantula on him.
Yeah. In Hawaii or something.
Mhm. Yes, Hawaii. Bobby was the youngest. What was his sister name? Starring with Knowledge Born.
Cindy, Susan.
Yeah. Yeah.
You gotta know these things, yo.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what it is.
I got that elephant memory, man. I remember every fucking thing, man. No.
Yeah.
So it's Woo Wednesday, so, and I heard through the grapevine that Raekwon is an honorary Low Life member, but I also want to give homage to Freedom because Freedom connects both of you and me
Yep.
and Hump. Okay, so the whole quadrant is affected by Papa Wu to the world, but Freedom a lot to us all who know what the real. So your relationship
Best.
thirsts with Freedom.
I mean, you know, the biggest thing about Freedom, like when that newspaper happened and I was on the cover, a lot of guards objected to me being on the cover because I'm a low life or whatever they felt my past history was and things like that. And my understanding, Freedom was the one that stood up in my honor to let them know, you know, that I live it, whether I represent it or claim it or not. He let it be known that I lived it, regardless of what anybody felt. So, you know, rest in peace to Freedom. Like I said, we wasn't the best of friends. We wasn't, but the respect was always mutual, man. You know, the same like it is with a lot of Brownsville people. You know, I grew up with RZA's cousins. I grew up with Daddy O, a.k.a. Monty, a.k.a. Born. You know, I grew up with him and all his brothers. I grew up with Junie. I grew up with Hutcher. You know what I mean? So my cloth runs deep, man, as far as dealing with Brownsville and dealing with official people, man. So a lot of people acknowledge it. And being a motherfucking Puerto Rican in Brownsville, you know what I mean? To be acknowledged and be thorough. You know, that took a lot of motherfucking work. Because at first, you know, I'm the target, nigga. I'm the nigga being tested everywhere. So, you know, I established myself just by defending myself and defending my peoples and defending my project and all that. You know, I wasn't a nigga doing dirt in Brownsville. I was defending in Brownsville, you know? and shit like that. So rest in peace, Papa Wu. Thank you for everything. You know, rest in peace, June, and rest in peace, Daddy O, man. Daddy O was my dude, man. Born. You know, I stayed in their houses and things like that. I ate their mother's food. You know.
Fire,
And
man.
Raekwon, he is an honorary low life. You know what I mean? We let him know.
Well, Raekwon
Yeah,
is a rich.
hey, your Capricorn Pantheon, y'all 6 days apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, your
Yeah,
birthday,
you,
Thirstin.
yeah, you,
Birthday
Rusty Jokes, all of y'all in the same week.
of January.
My great grandcousin is Smoking Joe Frazier. Rest in peace. You understand what I'm saying? Like, so him and Shalal Raekwon born on the same day. Too.
Wow.
You know what I'm
Wait,
saying?
Joe Frazier and Raekwon is born on the same day?
Yes.
Even
Yo,
my-
you know who also shares that day? The great George Duke.
Wow.
Everybody knows the great jazz pianist, produced
Yes.
a million records from Michael Jackson to Let's Hear It. But he's the one that did that song, Reach For It, the classic funk record. Boom, boom, ah, boom, 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 boom. Everybody knows that song. It's in all kinds of. Yeah, man. Wow, the same day.
Yeah, Dr. Khalid Muhammad born on the same day as well. You see what I'm saying? So
Muhammad
it's
Ali
all
January birthday with us. Muhammad Ali, brother Jay from the X
Yeah.
Clan, 17th of January. You know, there's a lot.
Muhammad Ali is on the 17th. You on the 18th. Tahir RBG is on the 18th. You see what I'm saying? Like Rusty Jukes is around that same week too. Rusty Jukes,
my son,
Muhammad Ali, George Foreman, Joe Frazier, all in the same week.
My son, my junior, Victor De Jesus Jr. was born on my birthday on the 18th.
Crazy.
Powerful.
Yo, Thirst, what month?
Oh, what? You talking about for who? For whose birthday?
What? No, okay.
Me? Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I'm a Virgo, like Shock G. But I'm September. I'm September 16th.
September what? September what?
16th. 16th.
Wow. So you a 16 nigga like
same day as BB
16th, like you 30 days difference from Priest. He August 16th.
Wow.
Okay.
16 niggas.
16.
Yo.
Yeah, all being born to God.
Tupac.
Yeah.
Like Tupac. Tupac is on the 16th. It's the same. You know what I'm saying? So
my son mother the same day. Solomon mother the same day. Crazy. 16.
Yeah.
Yo, and my sister. Yo, you killed me.
Yo, I'm always amazed by how many birthdays Nala's born that you retain in your mind. Like you be like, Nala's born to be like, yo, Havoc has the same birthday as J.D. Rockefeller and the man who invented, like headphones. You'd be like, how do you know all this shit?
Yo,
that's amazing.
Yeah, no,
got the same birthday as DJ Quick. He's on
that
too.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Last food on earth. You got two choices: hero or pizza. Where we going?
I'm going hero. Unless I'm in New York or New Jersey or somewhere, then I'm going pizza. Yeah, that's because that's not worldwide specific. It's some disgusting ass pizza everywhere else. You know what I'm saying? So you go home.
So you gotta do hero.
You go home in New York and New Jersey, you get a slice of pizza. Don't take that shit for granted. Let me tell you, because pizza is not something that's exclusive to the world. The world is horrifying in the pizza realm.
Yo, I'm lactose intolerant, so I haven't had pizza in like 25 years. But in this magical world, I'm choosing pizza just so I could go out with a bang.
Now I'm Chef Bible Kid, and I invent motherfucking meals. I will put the pizza in my hero like that.
Yeah, that's different. That's different. Okay? Yeah, that's different.
To put Bacardi in my old English. It's like one wasn't good enough. I need
I definitely put Bacardi in my old English. Okay, yes. I'm a Cisco kid.
Passion.
Cisco kid was a friend
Lo
of
Life
mine. Okay?
Cisco, liquid crack.
Polo Passion, new drink.
by A.
Okay.
Pizza shop
Okay.
right across the street from the liquor store on Rockaway.
Oh, I live right there. I was on Pickett. Yeah, Pickett and Rockaway. I'm a Cephalo.
On Livonia and Rockaway.
Yeah, Livonia. Exactly, Livonia. Yo, I'm gonna ask you. Okay, Frosted Flakes or Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Cinnamon Toast Crunch, man.
Cinnamon.
or Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
I thought y'all was poor, man.
Frosted Flakes with more flavor. That's all it is.
I thought y'all was poor.
Crystal, huh?
I thought y'all was poor, man. Y'all talking Cinnamon Toast Crunch, man. Frosted Flakes. Because we that was an adaptation to corn flakes. We grew up on corn flakes with water and powdered milk.
Now,
you understand? Like, so look, y'all getting brand new on me right now. You understand? I thought y'all was poor. You know what I'm saying? Like corn flakes.
Jacks. Apple Jacks and Fruity Pebbles was my motherfucking cereals, man.
Yeah. That was the elevation. Okay. If you ain't put no powdered milk, like you ain't get the powder and the milk together and pour that shit in no fucking cornflakes.
Oh nah, yeah, you talking free.
But they gotta be cold milk. Let me ask you something. Yo, what about
man? I free cheese everything. Free cheese.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, now we bringing it back to reality. I'm like, all right, hold up.
Okay, what about
like,
raisin bread?
cinnamon
What about
toast.
raisin
Like,
breads?
I was
Raisin breads with extra cold milk.
Nah, Sugar Smacks with coffee.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I'm Chef.
You murdered it.
Yeah, just regular smacks, like regular smacks in the plastic. In the plastic, once you open it, it's a wrap. It ain't even in the box. You got like a 3-pound bag, like it was rice.
Exactly.
Like it was flour. Like you had to.
And now we know that all of that shit is poison. Now we know.
Count Chocula or Frankenberries.
Blueberry.
Yo, Thirstin's on it. Thirstin's on it.
Man, how do you
That's like when I smoked weed and I thought it was good. Like, I had a little chocolate tie.
Yo, Priest.
Yeah, that was different.
Huh?
How old are you now?
I'm in my 50s. Early, I'm 59.
You ain't 59, man. Oh, you younger than me, Priest. I remember.
I am younger than you. I am younger than you. Well,
I remember we in our 20s, man.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm at the ripe age. I told him, I said, so 2 years ago, you get my age here. I said, Area 51. Mm-hmm. My verse was like, I am Area 51. I'm already 51. Area 50. Exactly. So I'm around, so what are you, 56, right?
I'm 55. I'll be 56.
All right. I'm right behind you. Don't worry about it. I'll catch up and I'll pass you. Yo, you know what, though, Thirst? You look good, though, because here's what cats don't understand. When you work out and you do what you do, see, preservance is ill. And I'll give you cadence because you started a big movement in New York, the Lo Lifes. You was the flyest nigga in the Ville. And you did that with the help of, and I'm going to ask this, I'm going to give my podcast a treat. With the help of who? Was it you or was it two others?
Nah, it was a whole bunch of, it was not just me. It was Lo Lifes is born from Brownsville niggas, from Marcus Garvey and Van Dyke niggas who started running with niggas in the 90s and niggas from St. John's and Utica and Crown Heights. But there's a handful of niggas from all these places that came together that made that happen. You know, one of the greatest legends you ever heard of, like Boost and Billy. You know what I mean? Kim, Disco, you know, motherfucking Guard, Kaiki, Moosey, you know, Dre, Kermit. There's a lot of dudes, man, who were really came together. Before we came together, there was no such thing as Low Life. There was just mad Polo dudes.
Yeah.
But when all of us got together and we built a bond and a trust, and we talking about a bunch of grimy, robbing, and stealing motherfuckers. It wasn't just boosting. Niggas stick shit up, yapping shit and all that, but dudes who developed trust and all that and love and went to war for each other, man. That's what made Low Life. You know what I mean? It wasn't just about we Polo or dudes is boosting. It was way more than that. You know what I mean?
What they don't understand, thank you for that, brother. Thank you. Yo, give them a bar for that. But hold on. Tell us the females. What they don't get on.
There was low wives. Right? In the beginning, it wasn't called low wives. A lot of dudes used to call them low lovers and stuff because they gravitated to us heavy, man. Everywhere we went, we leaving all the females, and they followed home. You know what I mean?
Come on, y'all look like art, like y'all look like the classic groups that all had the same shirt on. This is incredible.
Yeah, but the females was always a factor, you know, not to speak of ignorance or womanizing, but you know what I mean? Like money, hoes, and clothes was our motto. And that's a motto the entire industry ran with. Low Lifes created that. That was our motto that we wrote everywhere we went. We said money, hoes, and clothes. So, you know, women was always a part of the package, and they was always like the target. We out for. We getting fly, we getting money, and we getting women is what it was all about.
All right. To become a low life, how many low wears or how fly of a low wear gear you have to get?
I mean, back in the days, there was a lot of low life that didn't even wear polo.
Boom.
And like I said, there was some low lives that was just drug dealers. They didn't boost and they didn't wear polo. You know, so it really was more about your heart, where your heart was at with it. You know, when shit is going down, or if you're gonna go up in that store and do what you gotta do. You know, it was really based around and your association to who you was with, because it's not like you had to pass a test and things like that. With some dudes you did, you know, they were taking you boosting, making you a bad man and things like that. But with some people, it was just your affiliation. This is your people, this is your family. You automatically locked in. Now, in today's era and generation of low lives, it's about the hip hop culture. You know, it's like around the world, people have gravitated to becoming low lives. And, you know, a lot of it happened when I became an artist and an entertainer, and my music got to go around the world. So that was the first time a lot of people around the world were being in tune with what a low life was and what it meant. And then when they started seeing the photos, hearing about the history and all that, it just spread everywhere. But there's no like gang shit where you got to get jumped in or anything like that. And, you know, like I said earlier, we evolved into positive, righteous organization within hip hop, helping to uplift the community, still living and, you know, still living that style of fashion and all that like we did in the past, but we actually spread it around the world. We let the rest of the world gravitate to it and incorporate the same style into their existence. You know what I mean? Especially in hip hop. I believe right now, polo is the official uniform of the whole fucking hip hop, not just Low Lifes. No. Look at every artist out there. Look at every interview. Everybody's rocking polo like it's motherfucking 1988. Know what I mean? And that's because of what Low Lifes did and what I did, you know, as an entertainer. Because there was also a time in the late 90s where polo was almost done. It was out of here. It was getting played out, and a lot of people was putting it down. And a lot of low lifes they would stop low lifing. You know, a lot of dudes went blood and crip when the transition started.
Yes.
A lot of our younger low lives became the leaders of the Bloods and Crips, you know, throughout New York City.
Woo!
Low life's involvement in all of that, man, was a big influence. So it's just crazy history that got many arms and branches with that, you know, there's so many different versions of what it is because of how much it branched out, man. You know?
Okay. I was just in New Mexico, and no lying, like 500 motherfuckers came up to me. 500 with low lives and said they were low lives. I had to stop. They said, "Priest, we're gonna have a low lives movement, and we want you a part of it. Do you understand what you did?" Because Heck, shout out to Heck, because he's watching right now. Heck is a chapter in San Diego of Lo Lives. He said, "Priest, you having our leader on, Thirstin Howl. Please." Heck, shout out to Heck.
What up, Heck?
Exactly. He runs a chapter of Lo Lives in San Diego. When I went to Mexico, it was a sea of cats claiming Lo Lives. And yo, I couldn't even shoot the video. It was so many. Do you understand the movement that you started?
Yeah. I mean, I went to Japan and I couldn't believe how the army came out for me. An army of Japanese, all load out. And they doing just like New York dudes, killing it. Baby and everything, super fly, super dip. So, you know, I definitely acknowledge the influence to what the culture is today, man. And social media had a lot to do with that as well, you know?
But you did it when social media wasn't popping. It was the word of the mouth, word on the street. The word got around. Yo.
All my album covers was flooded out with the low, to where a lot of people didn't know what it stood for at first until they start finding out my true history and who I was. It was even to a point where a lot of people knew Big Vic Low and a lot of people knew Thirstin Howl, but a lot of people didn't know it was the same person.
Word up.
Man, wow. Okay.
Priest, can we play Walking Light for the fam that's in the building?
Yeah, I just put out the Walking Light. Yeah.
Can we do that?
Yeah, let's do it.
Just warm my heart to see
Hold on, this is Lo Lives in the video, straight, and I'm in Mexico.
Wow.
Shout out to my man Heck. Let's go.
Yeah, I gotta see.
Polo short. The government tell us we woke, and at the same time sell us the dope that leads to heart failures and strokes. Where do we start? Do we believe what the elders wrote, or the ones who watch through a telescope? The Illuminati cyclops, beef spark on every coast. The head of a cult, the devil goat that sits in a drum circle like a hippie, dressed like a gypsy. My best of rocket the nebula quotes is like Tesla notes. Now they got surveillance on Diddy. I'm a cross between Umar Johnson and Billy Carson. I told my grandmother that we are from where the stars from. I'm like Rod Hayes, but I'm Todd Wave with a blonde fade. Some days it'll be an orange braid, half shade. That's just his character. I made hair like lemonade. Both his parents come from Africa. Y'all know the prototype. It's the walking life. See, the sun is the source of light. It made my quartz bright as New York at night. They say when Walter right, he can steer Hathor to the boat of the moon. Into the cliff, sent to the glyphs to open the tombs. They say Killah flows is like pillar protocols that fulfill the scrolls made of silver and gold. The bars I laid is like sculpted on the architrave. I wrote it like an art display of gods and goddesses with darker shades. I wrote it in the chamber, glowing like the child that was golden in the manger. Only 3 kings knew he was growing to be the savior. Okay, back to rap more about Hathor, the cow-headed near the Nile desert. Under the white clouds, the native dancing in the powwow. He wore the head crown of owl feathers. As the clan went from loud records, and Priest and Jizza wrote their signature down on Geffen. And hip-hop's are where I found the presence. The shepherds are coming down from Mount Everest, surrounded by peasants. With unclean skin disease, they called them leopard. I pointed a finger up and moved it around till I found the nebula. I told them I walked through Babylon, Persia, and Mecca. I talked to bees out their nectar, kings out their treasure. I've been counting ever since I've been walking. I started from forever. I've been writing on steelies inside of caverns where it's misty. Dealt tarot cards to the hands of time. Closed my eyes while the mouth of a cave kissed me. I gave the walls history. Y'all enslaved us all misery. That's why I shaved it off and came back bald, a mystery. I wrote it all on big slabs of lapis, lazuli, channel vibes to the candle fire. 12 candlesticks sits on amethyst. I write my scrolls on a clove of a rose. You see them when they unfold, the untold secret me and the queen bee hold. So when they make the pollen bin, I can communicate with the insect world like King Solomon. I mean solar gems, most roll to him.
Then I went rogue on them, those who stole my pen. Then I went ice cold as wind. Geminis we roll as twins. When we take the mic, we live a walking life.
The D's raided houses looking for your favorite out of Brooklyn. Africa praises to the bushmen, to the natives in the woodlands, the raisins in the Juxin, through the mazes of the bullpen. They killed our saviors, re-raised us and made us into hoodlums. Malcolm X became one of the greatest out of the Muslims, except for this boxer who never went to Oxford, never became a doctor, but got the rings of the chakras. Cassius Clay and Hathaway passed away, saw dimensions. George Benson, could this be a masquerade? Preacher said fast and pray. My mother's not there, but I asked her grave. Tiffany's not here, but her ashes stayed. What words will Prince and Michael Jackson say? I was a boy, now the mirror showed me patches of gray. Then it got black, and I started like tapping into a haze. Dazed, the mirror said your hair looked glazed because that's how much passion you gave. This is what happened, you still rapping. The mirror became my healer when it told me I was a pyramid giver, a gold spitter and a soul filler. I came to slay the Antichrist. Walking life, walking life. Yeah, that's my prayer.
Now, who were some of your early influences?
Well, the planets, the creator, mythical gods, real ones, people, flowers, everything in nature, inspiration. Musicians get their inspiration really from environmental things, and all musicians are inspiration to me, no matter what style they play. Feel the protocol.
Something else, brother.
Well, you know how we do though.
Priest, man. Woo.
Yo, Priest, how you got your name? Always wanted to ask you that.
What?
How you got your name?
It was RZA. It was during the like the Gravedigger era. So RZA was like, yo, you crazy. You be talking about all this dark shit. And so it was RZA and 60. It was like, yo, you like a priest. And I was like, but I'm a killer. And it was like, you know what? I'm going to flip it because it'd be like priest killer. No, I'm a killer priest. I switch it around.
Oh.
So, and that night, it was like, it was stormy, but rain didn't fall. So I'm a vegan that eats animal crackers. What'd that make me?
Yes. Yes, bro. Incredible. Incredible.
Wow.
Yeah. Thirst, you know how we do.
From Lord Messiah
No.
to the priest killer to the killer priest.
Yeah, I'm a little sliz.
And your born name sound like a super Walter Reed. When I first heard that, I thought that was like an alias, like you pulled. I'm like, what comic book character is Walter Reed? And it's like, that's really what it is. When you
that's the name they gave me. That's not my name. But when they gave me that name, I took on attribute as a doctor.
Wow.
Because you got Dr. Dre. Now, if you needed surgery, would you go to Dr. Dre? Or would you go to Dr. King in a desperate need of healing, whatever you need? Would you go to Dr. Kavorshian or Dr. Dre? Which one?
Yeah.
Oh, well, hold on. Or Dr. Pepper. You know, funny, but this one, no, because I see Thirstin Howl. Thirstin Howl answer you got. Thirst, you a legend, bro.
You a legend, nigga. You're a legend, man. I always looked up, like I said, your consistency, man. I follow the consistency of certain brothers, man. That's why, you know, we gained the position we gained within the culture because of the consistency. To me, Jay-Z is I look at Jay as the GOAT, right? Because of his accomplishment.
Weirdo for you, your best time weirdo nigga. Because the real nigga.
But what I say is Jay's consistency is what put him in the position. Even though he was skilled, I believe his skills were secondary to his consistency. That's what position.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean?
From 88 on up.
But it was second to his consistency, man. Just like your position is because of that consistency. Your skills definitely carried it, but your consistency put you in position, man. And that's the only reason I exist in the game, is because no matter what or what results I was getting, I didn't hesitate to stay consistent and keep hitting them in the head until they motherfucking got it. You know?
Oh my God. Stop the press. I'm gonna build on what the God just said. You just heard one of the most rich. I'm looking in the camera on this. I want y'all to see me. You just heard, because y'all be like, priest drinking. No, it ain't that. It's real. Let me turn this off, because you know I'm gonna watch me. It's real science what he's saying. Thirstin Howl has just put out what made him, and he still didn't. Is his consistency. He said, "I'm going to continue doing what is dope." Hold on, where you going? I want to say this. Thirstin Howl, there's no MC that I know that had more giving to the culture than you. Wow. Now, I say this above Big Daddy Kane and Rakim and Slick Rick. Why do I say that? What I said? Because Thirstin Howl is there regardless of who you are. So my props that I draw strength from is Thirstin Howl above Slick Rick, whom I adore, above Rakim and above Kane. If there was no Thirstin Howl, there'd be no Killah Priest.
Wow. That's big, yo.
Range big right there. Woo.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. I appreciate that acknowledgement, man. That's definitely gonna give me more fuel and energy.
Being real.
You did it your way. So when they look at the New York anthem and they be like, they say I did it my way like Frank Sinatra, they need to be saying I did it my way like Thirst, because there was a machine behind him.
Yeah.
You created the machine behind you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's it.
That was all the love I had for hip hop. That's all it was. So if I loved it more than somebody else, that's the only reason I outdid them, because I loved it more. And that's what my career is based on, my love for the culture. You know what I mean? And that's a love that no matter what, I can't suppress it for anything. Is no matter how hard I try, or even to slow down, even I don't know how to. I don't know how not to do this. You know, it was the same way with breakdancing and all of that. I didn't know how not to practice every day. I wanted to be the best. I wanted to compete. I wanted to be around the best, you know? And I wanted to make sure motherfuckers knew my name and remember that I'm nice with my shit. You know, that's all I wanted, to be respected like everybody else. That's all that mattered the most. Even in the street, it's the respect. The respect mattered. I ain't give a fuck about nothing else. You gonna respect me.
Down
You know?
by law. Yo, a real thing. That's a real thing. So I want to play something real quick because, you know, there's so much Gemini season. I'm on some Gemini shit because I'm a Gemini. Okay. How you living, Biggie Smalls? I'm surrounded by criminals. Thirst.
Mhm.
Thank you. Thank you for this. Thank you.
Surrounded by
Back on the half of the moment in Bristol with a pistol. I'm surrounded by criminals. Back on the half of the moment in Bristol with a pistol. I'm surrounded by criminals. Back on the half of the moment in Bristol with a pistol. I'm surrounded by criminals. Back on the half of the moment in Bristol with a pistol. I'm surrounded by criminals.
If I'm a son of a gun, grandpa's a grenade. Mama Duke's missile, sister stamping on my grave. Crime saga, jogger, never ran, never will. Don't stop the bleeding, let it spill. From the Marcus Garvey village, grew up with Homo. Stokey, Big Smoke, Harmony, and Londo. Disco was my best friend, became my brother. Has did the same thing early 80s summer. Coming home, cock diesel, there you shoot the two. Project lobby boxing where you lose a tooth. Beat up bouncers, security, fought with cops. Thirstin Howl the third about to board the yacht. Pilot to co-pilot, silence, control violence. The long nose knows where you hiding those diamonds. Sneak thieves, creep, stick up, should keep brief. Nickel bonds, charm, penny, Annie peeking. Thirsty, thirsty from the field. With a growling stomach and a gun concealed. Gotta feed my kids, make sure I eat. The baby needs shoes, the shotty needs sleep. Crazy used to pop while I did the head spin. My windmill skills give you indigestion. My cousin Nasty Ness, incredible breaker. Had you laying in piss, sticking up elevators. Hat slump, favorite gap pump, nigga act up. Take off that chain, give up that cup. Touch my muscle, feel the veins, take my pulse in the breath. I'm a long way from sane, opposite of innocent.
Back on the half of the moment in Bristol with a pistol. I'm surrounded by criminals. Back on the half of the moment in Bristol with a pistol. I'm surrounded by criminals. Back on the half of the moment in Bristol with a pistol. I'm surrounded by criminals. Back on the half of the moment in Bristol with a pistol. I'm surrounded by criminals.
Baby mama drama, 80 messages. Pumpkin called me out the window with an extra bitch. Fake plates on the hoopty, no license, no insurance. Drive bitches crazy, piping with endurance. Smuggle drugs in the country. Shanks in jail, 20 broads outside, send me pictures in mail. Hit the block, extra creamy, low items never seen. Had 2 baby mamas by the time I'm 17. Dug pockets with hawk, caught knockouts with dogs. Shot a fair one with pig, Casey thought I was soft. A son down the block, you could see his double L's. Bus is gone young, took money by itself. Money hoes closed, mastered all 3. Crime pays late, after court fees. Concrete jungle, army muscles. Bigger, more guns, can't scar these knuckles. My think tank, bring spank Fort Knox. Pretty boy soy, can't count the draws drop. Polo Planet gangland, shoot out and shake hands. Get shanked in the yard, part of escape plan. Study math, drop jewels or books man-made. Choose your birds wisely before you nest eggs. Chester Street sweet, living with my moms. With welfare credit, mad bitches on the arm. Got my stripes in a fight, probably bled once or twice. At family functions, I cooked the rice. Rebecca lived next door, her voice so beautiful. When my mom's died, she sung at her funeral.
Back on the half of the moment in Bristol with a pistol. I'm surrounded by criminals. Back on the half of the moment in Bristol with a pistol. I'm surrounded by criminals. Back on the half of the moment in Bristol with a pistol. I'm surrounded by criminals. Back on the half of the moment in Bristol with a pistol. I'm surrounded by criminals.
Come on.
Yo, knowledge. Yo, ebook produced that joint right there. That was one
Crazy.
ebook banger. Yeah, that's a true story, that song, man. I remember the first time I heard Jizza say back on the app, I was like, I gotta use that shit.
Yeah. Investigative report.
That's my block. I live on Livonia.
That album turns 30 this year.
Wow. That's crazy.
And then you add in, you know, you got a lot just Leo, couple days different than Priest, right? And then you got Biggie.
That was me though. That told Livonia and see that was me because I'm from Brownsville, so I had to tell because his family was there, but I was there. So so that's that.
Go,
that part is me, and Jizzle would come on and be like, "Priest told me that," and I'm not saying that I do everything. But I'm a part of that history. When you say anything, you speak on Livonia, Pickens, Crystal. The first person who lived in Garvey is Kim Lasker, my cousin, and she gave me the crib. Wow.
You see, I mentioned. I said crazy used to pop while I did the husband.
Yeah.
You know, talk about Hawk. You know Hawk. You know everybody know who Hawk is.
Yeah, with Tupac. Yeah.
Yep. You know I came up with Hawk. Hawk was another Brownsville nigga, everywhere ass motherfucker. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Come on, the record.
And then you know what big, you know what I'm saying? Live for Bedford, Stuyvesant, the livest one, representing BK to the fullest. When I really get in my Gemini bag, I be on some Biggie shit real quick. Between Biggie and Tupac, right? That's the whole thing. So when I was surveying Big on his intuitive shit, I go back to How You Living, Biggie Smalls. I'm surrounded by criminals, heavy rollers, even them shiesty individuals. You understand? Like he understood the landscape of who was there with him. How you living, Biggie Smalls? So they looking at him. They looking at him and it's like, yo, he might be getting all this money and blah blah blah. So when Shorty said, "How you living, Biggie Smalls?" I'm surrounded by criminals, heavy rollers, even them shiesty individuals. Like, nah, I didn't leave none of this shit. I'm right here in the heart of it. You understand what I'm saying? Like, if anything, it brought me closer. You know, it brought me closer. It didn't, you know, preclude me from these situations. It brought me closer.
Yeah. And to add to that, on the other side of that, the polarity of that is the same way you were saying Biggie was
the
like
polarity. You said polarity.
I did, yeah, I might have stuttered, but in the way he said that, like being aware of what he's going around, Thirst in the middle of that song, talking about surrounded by criminals and shiesty individuals. In the middle of that song, he says, "At my family functions, I cook the rice." Like he throws that family line in the middle.
That beautiful balance in there that only you could do.
He was criminal, my nigga. My family was. Mom's was a criminal. You see, my mom's mugshot is on my first album. You know what I mean? Even at home, I'm surrounded by motherfucking.
True indeed. Yo, hold on. My sister was a criminal, straight, and she ran with your mom's.
Wow.
You know that my sister's Audrey. It's like Audrey. It's like you remember Shorty Dip,
of course,
and then the Smalls. That was all of them is my sister's offspring.
Shorty Dip is a legend in Brownsville, man.
Yeah,
heavy rollers, right? Even them shiesty individuals. So that was the game that Biggie had blessed Tupac with. Like, yo, fam, them cats you running with, that's not some people you want to be around. On the real sense. Even them shiesty individuals. Remember them kids up in Brownsville that you rolled dice with, smoked blunts and got nice with? You understand? Like, he's like, nah, that's my nigga Fame in the project. Nah, love would never disrespect. Like, real shit, like you can't come at him with no extra shit. He already understood what it was. I didn't say them. You know what I'm saying? Like literally, he goes to the next line. I didn't say them.
What he
So
said.
literally, that whole situation right there, that how y'all brought life to
Snort cane
life.
niggas, cocaine niggas. I bought the cane. He was talking about Raekwon and them. I
Yeah.
bought the cane quicker. It still took me. I used to be strong as, but yo, they
So
was
little these cripple
but
me.
there was coming
Yeah.
at them niggas. Yo,
Yes.
we all knew that. Cause Big could, and so much he could. He said, son, I'm surprised you run with them.
Yeah.
Talking to Nas, talking about can't.
I'm surprised you run with them. Yeah. But they got coming up. But
Wow.
Yes.
Well, we can go
Like,
through the lines, bro.
Yeah.
yes.
Word to daddy, indeed.
Doug Pockets caught knockouts with Dog. I shot a fair one with Pig in case he thought I was soft. Rest in peace, Pig. Another legend from Brooklyn. Cypress
Shout
Hill.
out to Pig. Oh, R.I.P. You just killing.
Pig was the op for a long time. I mean, I think we was always ops. But, you know, I got to respect his greatness and all that, you know. I could even say we shot a fair one, and we shot a fair one outside of the tunnel in 1989. You know what I mean?
Damn.
And I would even be honest and say Pig outscored me when we shot that fair one. I got to give that man his flowers and respect.
That's a different level right there.
You know, and everybody kept trying to break us up. But, you know, these are all legendary dudes. Dog, you know, these are all these people. Kane spoke on his records.
89. Thirst.
What was
Who
that?
would know 10 years later that all of the revisionists would come in 99 and try to lay claim to something that was real? All of the revisionists a decade later from that will come in with their bullshit and not know anything about everything that preceded them that last decade. So just like you, Biss was waiting outside of the tunnel across the street in the alley for MCs. You know what I'm saying? You know that, but the world don't know that. Biss was waiting. You know what I'm saying? Like, Biss pulled up to the tunnel, not to go in the tunnel, but to battle X1 in that alleyway. The alleyway where you slayed a lot of motherfuckers to go back and forth with X1 for hours, not for minutes, not for a verse or two. Hours.
I battled Buster outside the tunnel for hours. Like an hour and change going at it. You know, everybody that came through, if I saw you, I'm stepping to your business.
So you said Hurricane G is on the 20th, Buster's on the 20th, just like her.
Wow, that's great. That's greatness, right?
The last day of Taurus. The next day is Gemini. And the Gemini is Ron Isley, Biggie Smalls, and motherfucking Havoc from Mobb Deep.
And Donald Trump.
But he's on Flag Day. He's on Flag Day in June. He's not on that day. Mr. T, Ron Isley, Havoc, and some other motherfuckers that's on the 21st of May that rolls into Gemini. My son's actually on the 21st of Gemini. Shout out to my son's son. You know what I'm saying? So literally that type of situation brings the difference. Toussaint Louverture is on the 20th of May. So the difference between Toussaint Louverture and the Haitian Revolution and Busta Rhymes and Hurricane G and everybody born on the 20th is literally their position. So it's deep.
Yeah, it's deep.
Thirst, you've been rocking with us past your time. You know what I'm saying? So I want to honor you and honor your family in regards to what you're doing and how you do what you're doing. So I'm going to give you a chance for a final remark, a final call to action, shout outs, whatever you want to do, whatever you want to bring people's attention to for what you done and who you are and what you will do.
I mean, shout out to y'all, you know what I mean, for having me. Shout out to
We love you.
you know, long time fan and friend. You know, admired everything you've done. Always respected everything. Shout out to Hump, my new rhyme partner who we've been going hard body. And Hump, we performing that Ultra Ill next motherfucking week. We performing that joint. I don't give a fuck. Know what I mean? But you know, peep the work, man. The new album, The Last Shall Be Thirst, is going down. Check for me on all social media platforms under the same name, Thirstin Howl the Third. Holla at me and my brother Lo Box, Skillionaire Films. If you need videos done, you know, we do other people's videos as well. You know, we do commercials, we do motherfucking Christian telethons and all of that, man. You know, our production work is real serious, real professional. Shout out the whole Lo Life family all over the world. You know, from Brooklyn to Mexico to Japan to Australia. Like it's unbelievable how much is spread from, you know, Germany, and like I've seen chapters develop everywhere. But I want to shout all them brothers out. Thank you for continuing the legacy of Lo Lifes, because without the new generation of the Lo Lifes, we would just be a story of the past, like many. We are actually relevant today because we have a new generation and we allowed everyone else to share this with us, man. So I got to shout out that new generation. Shout out all the generals and original founders from Lo Lifes who started this. You know what I mean? There's a long motherfucking list to go through. Shout out to all the Lo Lifes dropping books and, you know, telling their versions of the story on what happened, because it's also continuing our legacy from no matter what standpoint you come from. It's still pushing us forward and, you know, ensuring our place in history. But, you know, I want to shout out Orlando for embracing me. You know, when I came here, everybody just embraced me. I was able to rock with the whole hip hop community here with a lot of love and respect. You know, I was included in many things and dealing in, you know, just bringing the whole Lo Life situation here. You know, shout out Miami as well, which I grew up half my life going back and forth from Brownsville to Miami. You know, and all my family there, like my blood relatives and the whole Lo Life community we built, and all the hip hop community. You know, the Crazy Hood Productions, EFN, and all of them, because they keep the torch lit in Miami for hip hop as well. Gotta shout them brothers heavy. Shout out my brother Shannon Briggs, man. You know what I mean? Shannon Briggs, the champ, and everybody
Let's
else.
go, champ.
Yeah, you know, I know the champ since real young too, man. I used to be bigger than the champ, man. I always remind him of that too. And just shout out all the righteous people, man, trying to do the right thing, man. Fuck the times we living in, man. You know how to manifest whatever you want to do and whatever you want to be, man. Don't get caught up in all this division that's being fed to us, because a lot of people are feeding into this shit retardedly. You know what I mean? And it don't make sense, especially to divide our culture and hip hop and all our black and brown brothers. You know what I mean? I ain't with none of that bullshit. Shout out all my fucking Puerto Ricans that hold me up high in high regards, because I keep holding up that flag to represent us all. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Polo Rican and all that. You know, I really appreciate all of it, the support I get. You know, everybody who go visits the website, thirstinhowlthethird.com, cop all that merch. Shout my brother Earl Lugo, you know, box the motherfucking Lord of Skillusions, the master out of this shit. So we going hard, man, and I could promise you there's a lot more coming, man. A lot more coming. Check for that Don Chichajong film. It's gonna drop later this year.
Yes.
Make you peep that Hurricane G video that drops on her birthday, the Black Angels. And then you know that album, shout out Snagglepuss. It's been an honor, Snag. You know what I mean? Me and Snag been really going hard on these. And my brother, motherfucking Dana Dane. Dana Dane directed all these new videos you see. He co-directed the one with me and Hump as well, the Ultra Ill Magnetic Street. Dana Dane been holding me down for a very long time. Being
Tell
my
Dana come holler at us. We want his story.
Dana Dane just moved to Africa, yo. So you know, I'm sure you could still get him on here whenever you want. But I want to shout Dane for always being a supporter. Shout out Kevin Garnett for holding me down on many.
KG,
my brother Cole Rodriguez, my representative, you know, holds down a lot of my business, keep things intact. You know, good righteous brother, definitely taught me a lot. I consider him a mentor as well. You know what I mean? And anybody else, man, who been on this journey with me, man, who believed in me, and people who worked alongside me, man, to help make me greater, man. I really appreciate all of that. You know, my family, my wifey, my kids, everybody who dealt with my crackhead attitude when it comes to, you know, creating and things like that. Because I zone the fuck out, man, and I go into seclusion to create, and I will ignore the world. So the fact that they could, you know, deal with it, man, I appreciate that, because they, you know, allowed me to be me, man, to pursue what I wanted to pursue and my dreams and all that. And so, and shout you, brother. Knowledge, honor, knowing. I'm sure we'll build furthermore from here. The same with you, Pre. Let me get that record ready, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna have to borrow one of them Colombian drug lord shirts you be wearing, you know what I mean? So I can walk in the spot looking good like you be doing. You know, let's just keep pushing forward, man. I'm here for it, man. And you know, I just want to represent properly, man. And I appreciate all the love and support, man.
A living legend, okay? A living legend, true and living. I will put emphasis on that. You understand? True and living. A wartime general that's impacted the culture in a way that exceeds hip hop. So I'm gonna be honest. Look, you and the Fat Boys, you and your movement and the Fat Boys and their movement transcend hip hop, because the Disorderlies is a movie that includes rappers that have nothing to do with hip hop. You know what I'm saying? So now, when you look at yourself and your impact in itself tied together as one, where you look at your brand and the world gravitates to your brand that got nothing to do with hip hop beneath the surface, but got everything to do with hip hop above the surface at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So it's a beautiful opportunity to marry those two things together. Beneath the surface, shout out to Jizza, and then above the surface, all together as one.
Beautiful. Beauty is a joy forever. My man John Key said that. I don't know about John Key. Yeah. Come on, man.
Yo, it's
big,
going.
Big Low. They don't make bigger mountains.
They don't make bigger mountains or more everlasting legends than you, guy.
Never.
Wow,
The
Priest
mountain
blew my
range
mind when he said,
and the mountain range walking down the street.
yo, for Priest to tell me he put me above Kane, Rick, and somebody else, that blew my mind, man.
And he said it on camera.
Blew my mind.
And he said it on
So,
camera.
They got an expiration date. You don't have one.
Wow.
So that's what I'm saying. To further qualify, they have an expiration date, and as far as they go, musically, you don't have one.
Yeah, I refuse that.
So if it's not this one, there's the next one. Priest will be physically in the building for what love and loyalty means. That's our word. I can't go back and say that's my word. That's our word. Priest will be in the building. So if that's the God year that's coming up, Priest will be there in the building.
That's what we're talking about. Bringing it all together. Bringing it all together.
So, Young Hope, Thirst, y'all got final remarks for the fam before I get into my little segment over here. Play more Killer Priest.
Yeah,
What you got? Let me start with Thirst first. Go ahead, Thirst.
It's on you, Hump. Gave my remarks already, and you already know I'm rocking with you too, man. I hold you in high regards, man.
Man, love, brother. It's a true blessing to be, it's amazing. I just threw you a shout out, and we just immediately clicked, and here we are over here taking over the world together, putting paint where it ain't, and showing them some things and reminding them some things. So it's the ultimate honors and respects and exhilaration on an artistic level beyond just the other shit, just on a pure level. If it was just us in a room getting busy, it would be exhilarating like that. But we over here showing out on motherfuckers. So that's just incredible. And I want to say salute to all the brothers that's tapped in with this, because one thing that's beautiful is, man, the energy you put out there, you know what I mean? It finds the best in motherfuckers. Like, like your shit is like a radar, but it's seeking the best qualities inside of people. It isn't just like come through. It's like come through on your best shit with your most love and loyalty, attitude, strength, and while you at it, get dipped type shit. Like it's on that type of shit. Make sure your rhymes is up to par, your beats is hot. Make sure you checking for the community and looking out for the kids and steering people. So all on all the levels. That's why the respect that these, the most respectable of respectables hold you in that respect. So it's a beautiful thing to rock with you. You calling me your rhyme partner always makes me feel like I did the right thing and shit, and I'm doing the right thing. And of course, I'm always gonna hold you down in that regard on the mic and deliver that, aside from everything else. But yeah, man, salute to everybody that's rocking with it. Killer Priest, my big bruh. Knowledge Born, my big bruh. Thirstin Howl the Third, my big bruh. This is your brother, Young Hump. I love y'all, and I'm out.
Yeah, man.
Respect.
So, honest to our special guest by special request, Thirstin Howl the Third, then brought Killer Priest out. Young Hump, a.k.a. Hump Low.
Yeah.
And we up out of this motherfucker, okay? So this is the portion where I deal with play more Killer Priest. Play more Killer Priest. All right.
Play that water for your brother one time. That's my joint. Water's my joint.
Okay.
Yeah.
So peace to the family. Peace to you and yours. We out of here.
I'll see you next week.
Salute. See y'all. We hugging next week.
Peace, God.
Peace.
Royal priesthood. Yeah. Vedic vape room papers. Yeah, all nature. Yeah, here we go. 2. Call me Captain Invincible, Master Original, Super Saiyan of Saiyans, graphic and visual, math metaphysical, rap somewhat mystical. From a sun-disk vehicle, I come to spit lyrical. When I talk, I force crowds to come forth. As I return lyrical hip-hop to its source. That's food for thought. I add salt, so let it sit in the pot like broth. Stir it till it cools off. Nourishment from New York sidewalks. Rent with high cost apartments, vents and lofts. Space and treble was twist. The ghetto was lit. I take my space behind the tape as the next pharaoh to sit. From sunrise to become Ra. Then I became God from King's Yard. Brooklyn from the train yard. Spray paint, grave saints, late night rain hard. Engraved ink, they drink back on the boulevard. My flow irritate demons, make them uncomfortable like it's a palm reading. Cause when I write it's like I'm foreseeing those in your circle that will hurt you and across regions. I call them out throughout our 4 seasons. They say my quotes galvanize ghosts and make the place spooky, like cemetery chase in the movie. My pen embraces beauty, a taste of grace, a face with 4 aces, greatness truly. To balance the brilliant bipolar, try yoga. Till the skies lower, they climb over. The time flow, I baptize Noah. Joan of Arc, my refuse to get up persona. Rosa Parks, this is mental health help. Protect the temple, be gentle with self. The giant to elf, though it seem hard and simple in stealth. Attentive, attractive anxiety disorders. Super supportive, silent schizophrenia. Dementia door walker. Dementia for millennials before the authors of Horus. Before the spirits moved across the waters. And my lyrics wrote themselves in Taurus. And Methuselah finally had rigor mortis. Now man makes machine to dig through the forest. The land placed with kings till he's to the orbit. I'm the understanding place in my queen in August. But there's more than 16 bars. So improve God.
Calculated zodiac, I figured the water formula. More mates and more braids dripping before Lemuria. Swimming in sound waves, the rivers of every aura. The dreaming's the real streaming Piscean movie Emporia. Currency's words for me, each sign is a note. That's $1. Dalai Lama Lake, I'm torching the boat. Cross the river Styx with an orchestra and 2 goats. Rode a llama through the lake of fire, walked through the cloak. Darth Vapor, Darth Vader, peak the charm, leg to leg. Spoke the Brahma through an ancient wire, thought I was woke. Dreams wrapped in dreams, inception of a Russian doll maker. The secretive confessions of 100 stargazers, giving birth to the future, but it wasn't hard labor. Bizarre nature, they be saying we extreme. You think you woke till you wake up in the next dream. Guitar player made the music to connect scenes. What if we're the clones of a nation, a depth fetus, a repeating simulation of the living death sequence. Rebellious hidden nation in the masonry beams. This is light architecture that remains to be seen. Made tea inside the circle, so I'm baking the steam. Taurus taking nanobites till I ate the machine. Who could swallow volcanoes like a plate of cuisine? Cause God made the spiral and hypnotized himself, staring at his own chart. Now who can wake the supreme? So eternity at once in the space and the stream. Between infinity and now and all this placed in between. They so hungry for the light to get a taste of the gleam. The clip's empty, I'm trying to refill it. But the beat's already dead, I'm trying to re-kill it. Inside of a deep skillet, stop lying to me, spill it. Exercise peace while you puzzle, I still fit. Your circle's out of shape with no muscular build fit. Papers from banana plants to puff on my grills with. Jungles though I'm used to going dust like the bill split. Light pole, fixed stars, froze time, I'm still lit. Playing freeze tag with my past self, I'm still lit. I'm still repping my past rain, I still drip. That's nice and cool, zodiac bicycle. Rapid eye motion, beats with appetites growing. This sounds like a job for this is Captain Sky Ocean, Superman and Mr. Universe who snatched the time potion. Shoot, they optimism like it's magnified, hoping lyrics hit the firmament case and it cracked it wide open, wide open, wide open.
Yeah. Play more Killah Priest. King of Dadanari, speaking wise words to Matani, dressed godly, the book of Proverbs I embody, student enrollment, my music's golden, with writtens that influence my opponent, I'm fluent when I'm flowing, the words from faculty to nurture, carved out in murder, priest rockin' cherry, that's from Persia, write rhymes using old English curses, like I'm from 685 BC circa, get off your knees, you know not what you worship, but salvation's for the merchants, black child of the Berbers, the ruler Hassan Hadan, write it in a book made of bronze, said like you pushing my creative palms. When I was born, there was major storm. A black god in his greatest form. I'm what real rap listeners was waiting on. I mastered the 7 skills, so I was taking long. Then went back and got the 8. That's not in the book. It's not seen, not spoken. Only true masters can relate. In this place, there's no time, no date. God said you have to rhyme to be great. Abanawa Shabbat Shemayim, a whole lion. Like Gilgamesh and write a scroll in Solar Zion. Ishtar in front of Urdu Malisi. Sit on his throne easy and write a poem weekly. Priest in his own, my microphone become a species. All on its own, new chromosomes. Bones Marvel DC. My impact on rap to free all the righteous people trapped. I'm oversteered and we under attack. Bismarcky music was godly. 82 they dropped Atari. 26 empty clips, John Gotti. Killah Priest hip hop version of Bob Marley. Amongst the Ansars, Israelite Muslims and God bodies. Now we got the whole taps. As far as deep, only priest flow is left. I took an oath to hold a set. The Ashur Ike in the writing. Holy Bible Genesis chapter 6. Speak on the giants. My favorite anime, Attack on Titans. Favorite boxer, Mike Tyson. When rhyming, I miss the excitement. Play more Killah Priest. Golden. Gold play more Killah Priest. Priest, it's from around the way. Shout out to all the DJs. Stop the rhyme with the skills. Killah Priest keeps it real. He want it like that, so he got it like that. He want it like that, so he got it like that. Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68. The black Jews to the 52 states. All those who relate, this is not up for debate. The stars form a hexagon shape. Metatron in the face. My body forms in the Babylon race. Through megastorms, electrons made a heart pulsate. Piece of Capadon, Ray Kwan and Ghostface. Islam is your faith. Open Qurans beneath Ramadan dates. A Hittite king assassinated by a Syrian prince. A chronicle from the honorables recorded the event. Also with the help and the blessings of a religious establishment. Priest is the dragon in the trench. It's raining badly, I'm throwing daggers while I'm drenched. On the top of his palace, I scale down, looking through his windows, eating salad. Holding a chalice, I'm moving silence. Like smoke, you'll never taste the scope on your palate. Who wanna hold a throat in a challenge? Bleeding out, trying to stop the blood while I kneel on the prophet rug. Shots blow through the window, snowflakes in my memento. Gold plates, blindfold, tied up, pillowcase. Foreign voice asking me for info. They fed me whiskey till I'm pickled. They hit me in the arm with the sickle, but I'm calm and official. Alarms whistle, royal priesthood.
Send more caskets. Skillionaire. They want rap beats, gonna be a lot of dead rappers. Still at it. Nice with it. Turn this flow into dough. Ill at it.
I'm a poet's first words, magician's last trick. Hallucinating, hating, fashion, fabric. Mother's son committing the same sin, breaking the same law, she saying it ain't him. Father dead from an overdose early. I ain't never made a fucking song without cursing. Snake eyes lie, take to the truth. City folk keep all snakes in the zoo. Skillmatic, wisdom and will, talent, business and skill matter. Digital build data.
Talk so much.
Need a meter on your mouth. Always been pussy. We ain't got no doubt. Slim Jim, my gun is a beef stick. Blind motherfuckers, nobody ain't see shit. Life's a bitch, a movie and a gamble where porn stars and hookers all live in the castle.
Send more caskets. Skillionaire. They want rap beats, gonna be a lot of dead rappers. Still at it. Nice with it. Turn this flow into dough. Ill at it. Skillionaire. Got caught holding my pistol. Once again, I got took by the D's. 3 years in the pen. Came home, new pistol. Once again, I will never let these niggas run up on the kid without instant karma. I ain't gotta come back. You get this work right now. Your whole lot too much for them to handle. They can't process how I need to get down. I'm not with the nonsense. too smart for the foolishness. Niggas try to line me, get your foolies hit. Got a real bad bitch, I don't deal with basics. Me get real money, now I deal with fake shit. My rap like a OG pimp. I sent bad niggas on the police dick. Real niggas, real love, real loyalty. Thirstin Howl, Don P. Send more caskets. Skillionaire. They want rap beats, gonna be a lot of dead rappers. Still at it. Nice with it. Turn this flow into dough. Still at it. Skillmatic. Yeah, you know how it go down, man. You know how this shit work. Now we get it done. My nigga Thirstin Howl the third. My name is VIP, Don P. R.I.P. to all that bullshit out there.
We flying.
Yeah, Priest, Ty Phoenix. Let's get it. Yeah. From a mustard seed, I must succeed. Through storm clouds, the horned owl just brush the trees. The rainfall, I remain small till luckily the greatest tall, but I change form, become a tree. Dusting off my leaves, the moth can be. Swirl around me, a world with no boundaries. The ignorant 10% thought it was just a breeze. Throwing dirt cause they heart holes in their hurt. Hey yo, Ty, you know the chart shows when to be alert. This goes from 2 in a verse to a whole universe. The altitude is windy, but through currents and air pockets, a rare prophet. To feel the world is too empty, it's too much to explain. Top pH is the water, so it's only right she rain. And y'all know my name. Yeah, Top Wave.
Taking you higher than you ever been. Feel the rush in the air when we touch the wind. Soaring with the eagles, baby, here we up. In the clouds past heaven, baby, fly with us. Taking you higher than you ever been. Feel the rush in the air when we touch the wind. Soaring with the eagles, baby, here we up. In the clouds past heaven, baby, fly with us.
A royal priest beside a phoenix is no less than fire. Every bar's a power line like an electric wire. We interplanetary beings, we could stand the sun. Been to 23 galaxies like a Samsung. When they speak of royalty, they thinking J and B. I'm talking higher deities and the awakened me. Unmistakably, I leveled up from A to B. Laid this beat like it was masonry. Don't play with me. Going higher than the rest of them. Flying, we caress the wind. Tower over lesser men, taller than the Nephilim. Use it like a sharp sword, so you will respect the pen. Claiming my reward every day, I put the effort in. Jewels around the throat chakra like a diamond necklace. Gather knowledge, drop clues like a crime detective. I took the road less traveled, found divine direction. We on the plane of existence with space and time connecting.
Taking you higher than you ever been. Feel the rush in the air when we touch the wind. Soaring with the eagles, baby, here we up. In the clouds past heaven, baby, fly with us. Taking you higher than you ever been. Feel the rush in the air when we touch the wind. Soaring with the eagles, baby, here we up. In the clouds past heaven, baby, fly with us. Fly with us. Fly with us. Fly with us. Fly with us.
Long black eyes, on both sides counting in the 5. In the tree above the ancient tribes with hives lived sisters that were all small in size. In the morning they would all rise and buzz above the buds, waiting for the opening of their love. Amongst the bushes and the tree shrubs. In Mexico, the old Mex would wait for them because they pollinate their cactus for the tequila. They were simply known as the healers. These small beings were winged and they had stingers to sting to protect the queen. They were responsible for peaches, oranges, and apples and nectarines. The color of their bodies were yellow and black. The rest were rings, the insect for kings. On the full moon on the right night when it's totally dark, the queen of the bees come out and talk with the wasp. We have all our ancient ancestors encased in amber,
Great bees from the past that protect us from the bear and the badgers. They are the masters of the pastures. The wild spoke off top. I scavenge from the bottom during autumn. While y'all fly above the garden looking for pollen, I see a problem, cause I search amongst the doom beneath the moon. While y'all eat that which bloom and blossom. Quiet, the possum. They tell me you have magic, royal jelly. Y'all really came up since y'all evolved from us. And y'all from the ants before y'all were ever was. The universe buzzed. We all can agree that the breed gave rise to the plants, and plants gave rise to the canopy, such as the banana tree, the different strands of weed. We are the bees. Since the larvae we were godly. Our colonies are responsible for spinach and collard greens. Y'all are solitary, the ants have an army. We have workers and servers and drones inside our comb, high above the Tassili stones and the pygmy homes, before people unknown, places where gypsies roam, encased inside a hexagon-shaped cone. The sweetest taste that man can't duplicate, it can't be recreated or grown. Before the flood separated countries, before Egypt had mummies, the bees made honey.
Have you heard of Nag Hammadi? No? Let me tell you about it. The Nag Hammadi Library is a collection of 13 ancient books called codices, containing over 50 texts. Texts that present a radically different view of early Christian beliefs.
During the early race, man wanted real estate, so he started building shape. Others started to fill away, though they started killing snake. Those of the worldly faith found themselves in pearly gates, left his seat as girl inflates. Blessed he who elevate, set the tea and meditate. Rain splash off of the stained glass, medieval cathedrals that still stand in Spain and France. Skeleton figures how many diamonds his ring had. The courts had green grass, the hawks took spring baths. Across where kings clashed, they fought for the queen's hand. A masterpiece done by priests. Refractory property so unique. Sister goes Sophia in her holy seat. Her feet Alistair Crowley sleeps. It's where Kiss and Bon Jovi meet. The Greek, the beast, the owl covered in rosaries. Prophetess, potions and poetry. Abraxas Reba Simha. The lion called Simba. When rhyming I'm the Templar. The troubadour make music for the temper. The rooster call from roof to floor. The eyes in the center. The truth is all manly hall. What lies within the picture. The fruit don't fall. Nuclear war that ties within the scriptures. The zodiac sign of Hitler. More than one Jack the Ripper. More than one Shakespeare. For some of the take years. The Nag Hammadi god body that practice motionless karate. The dragon on my Vatican Armani. Nag Hammadi, Nag Hammadi. Craft I'm in, I'm mastering. The carpentry, the scaffolding. Corian stones to cornerstones. When I grab the pen, I fall in my zone and reach the African. Plastered in the walls of Rome, the priest is practicing. The royals on the doors of the dome, pads and fabric skin. On the mountain surrounded by columns, writing my album. All alone like I'm in the solemn, solving my problems. Gothic sanctuaries, a wall of St. Mary's. The Gospel of John is scary. Lately I've been drinking heavy, reading Psalms with nervous palms. Open the vote, grab my sword and my coat of arms. Murder I wrote. Nag Hammadi Library. Nag Hammadi Library.
Imagine finding a book that tells a completely different version of a story you thought you knew by heart. These manuscripts were hidden for a reason. In the end, Nag Hammadi's texts aren't just relics. They're a bombshell on traditional teachings, showing us just how diverse and dynamic early Christian thought was.
I know my sacred rights when I write. Who am I to judge? I'm in my pen tonight. I got booked in the pages with blue bars in. I started doing the sentence and finish at the margin. My mind tried to escape, but I'm the correctional guardian. Max in the mental state, full of gems while I'm jogging. Using words and terms till I serve my turn. On my brain cells form into a bell's bond. Recorded while I'm self-rewarding. Like I spit 3 autumns. When I release a masterpiece just talking. That's how I get when I'm zoning. Just flowing. I make the listener a prisoner of the moment. Knowledge, the old face was abolished, reshaped and polished. Graduate from college, move to different states. The same people that hate make the dollar. Leonardo da Vinci and cathedral cardinals were busy throughout the cities of Italy. The evil part of the history and mystery replaced the people dark as the pygmy. Eventually, Michelangelo and Bible radicals handed gold by the Pope from that century to cover art immensely, intentionally. To dark ages from archaic, from rock paintings who started language, charts and data, tribal marks invaders, before titles and parts of Asia. The heart was nature, Africa was far ancient. Older periods, stars Sirius over pyramids, walls with cobra images. Rituals were open the mouths of mummies. Or biblical, how to rip a crowd for money. Identical, beneath the clouds of countries. Subliminal, one wears the crown is chubby. While we hungry, they ugly and frowned upon me. Look down on us, but count on us, and our growling tummies. Arrest the devil, read him his rights, Edomites. In the courts of the cross, the Lord's jury seated Christ. And the 2 witnesses since Genesis. Bringing the devil as God prisoner. The job for the minister, persecute him. Then drag him to the chair to execute him. He tries to bribe you, stone him with Bibles. Give thanks to the Lord for he is good. A million saints with their swords to the devil's hood. Metal hooves, stand in heaven where I never stood. Only in hell, music and spells. Magic only several could. Before religions, oral traditions. Total transitions, Dogons, Egyptians. Both arms are risen, the boat gone and drifting. There's no on depiction, there's no on subscriptions. Snowstorms on Christians. Black magic and sorcery. Mathematics, bad habits, horrors that I see. And dialogue. Giving honor and all glory, thankful and painful during long sufferings, calm when storms hovering, protected by my guardian angels. The lower and the upper wings are covering, for soul restructuring. I'm like Job recovering, loosen all the knots and the cluttering till I'm filled with coloring. My life's a book with crayons or spray on. Our legs and arms are bronze from the Amazon, lost tribes in Babylon. North skies we sung a song, sweet chariots, then we carried on. We came from the nebula as settlers. We came here to plant grain, then explain the weather. The 10 spirits of the Sephiroths, their attributes and appearance. 10, this is the beginning. The hot ones like the chakra transcendent. Our demeanors in Bina, in its likeness in its image. The nexus dot like my eye, the astronaut on the ziggurat. Comet rocks past the equinox. Cast it on my headdress. The space cadet, that's the message. Then Gavura like Suma, then Teferi, then the tea beverage. Connect with comedics, genetics and deep merits. Next up is next suck. After is hold in your soul. The Malkut's Tao book. Weed is Nubian, brown kush. Take away the image you saw. Now look. Jacob vengeance on Esau, his crown took. Before the Platos and the Aristotles. In days of old, those were pharaoh novels. And dialogue, and dialogue, dialogue, and dialogue, dialogue, and dialogue, and dialogue, dialogue.
Come with actions from a praxis, every tree is gone dialogue. Become paper for my reasoning and dialogue. Rhythmic, big applause to the lion god. Round of 6 melons, make the sounds can make the giants nod. Mayan guard, zodiac clocks made of compliant cogs. Move barbarians, medicines from a psychic rock. Hallucination equations lost in vagina bar. They all bow when I walk into the highest lodge. Climbed out the pupil in the all-seeing iris rods. Vivid third eye massage. Flying pigs high up the hog. While they hoarding, I'm boarding the next astral plane. The wheel turns, but I never seen its axis change. The same script, just the actors in the apple frame. I'll be given different roles written just to act the same. And clearly view can mass this flame. Who can reenact the same? That's a shame. Planets rotating as the math explains. Shed my skin, left a million bodies on the path I came. Came up on myself and got away, but look what that became. Bad master brain. Sky release of science when I ask for rain. Master brain, if you don't have a name, you don't have an aim. In and out this world so many times, still I haven't came. I can see the next me, seen through galactic frames. 7 keys, 5 degrees, demons on our path get slain. Royal priesthood, our reputation got them scared to death. Devils caught wind of us approaching, they give up their breath. Treasure keep a century, eat a season with time spice. I ate a clock and defecated minutes from my hindsight. I took the 7 vows and went from infinite to finite. He's in the days, but he only entered it to finite. Looking at my chest, now she got interest in the finite. Talisman, talisman, the ignorant divine height. Body, all the Gnostics knew their wisdom's is divine right. Profound magic of a master at the round tablet. Heaven's real meal, not immortal from the ground addict. Holy evidence, open portals in my crown addict. Special spectators took the spirit world around back. The why knows like why I know is ignorance bliss. But it's all mirage, vanished with one flick of my wrist. Took a picture of my watch like it didn't exist. Photo of my photons from the mystic abyss. Serpents with a hawk face, circus in my thoughts race. Knew my Pegasus would be the quickest at the horse race. Spearhead the mirror, fed me visions of the Lord's face. Arab in the abracadabra, hot rock cadabra. Zigzag, Zodiac, Killah, the next massacre.